Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the High Roller Super Millions, the weekly 10K that takes place over at GGPoker. This is season 2, week 6, and I really think we've got one hell of a final table tonight. You guys already saw it. First, I'll introduce my lovely co-commentator before we dive into our final table betting segment. What's up, Nananoko? Are you ready for this final table, mate?
This is good, right? Like we've been asking for some of these players to come back. They are back. We had a lot of fresh faces, but this feels like a season 1 reboot here with a bit of a different players in here. I'm excited. It's going to be good.
Well, we've got 10 minutes to get some final bets in, and maybe you can convince me to get a final bet in Nananoko, but I've already made a bet or two because that just makes it a little bit of extra fun, makes it extra exciting for us. So let's go ahead and take a look at our lineup for this week's final table. We had 146 entries this week. This is our brand new graphic, by the way. Hopefully you guys like it. I think it looks beautiful, even though there is a little error, but we'll fix that next week. But this is it. Look at that man at the top. It's, I think, safe to say your absolute favorite, Nananoko.
Absolute favorite, and apparently 100 other people just agreed too. And look at the total amount of money put on top: 24,000. Right? Usually it's around 10,000, maybe 12,000, 15 at most. 24,000 might be the most I've ever seen at the top for one guy, and it's Michael Addamo, 2.5x chip lead on second place, and you can see the average betting for those guys is quite high, right? For 100 people. So look below. Isaac Haxton, more people betting, a quarter of the money has been bet on him, right? So everyone knows Michael Addamo for chip lead is a force to be reckoned with. The odds to win are going to be a lot lower. I think Poker Shares knows this too. But if it's a sure win, I don't know why you wouldn't put some money up there. So that's why I was telling people this is the pick for today's final table betting.
But is it a sure win, though? Like, okay, I know that my pick is a little bit out of line, but I'm going to explain myself soon. I already did a little bit over at the Instagram account of GG Poker. But you look at the man who comes in second. I actually gotta say, Isaac Haxton, season 1, yes, he did win it once, very early on, actually, like week 6 or 7 or something among those lines. The rest of the year, he kept on trying, but he really just didn't have the best time in the High Roller Super Millions. Season 2, however, Nananoko, I think at this point he's probably our biggest earner because he's made it to 3 final tables. He locked up a second place, and he comes into tonight's final table second again in chips. It's good to see Isaac Haxton back where he belongs, in my opinion, and that is just at the top and making a lot of deep runs.
Yeah, and he's right now the hot pick of season 2, doing the best. And like every single time he makes a final table, I feel like he always gets top 3 minimum. One time he was in last place and ended up winning the tournament. He's just so consistent, and obviously he's a great heads up player too. He used to play heads up just professional purely, won a lot of money, even played guys like Victor Blom, Isildur way back in the past. So he's very experienced. But this is just star-studded lineup if you look at it, right? Like I'm looking at, I see Yuri here, and I remember when Michael Addamo also had the big chip lead in season 1. He knocked out pretty much every single person. We were like down to heads up within the first break almost, and Yuri was that guy that was also there. 17 million to 2 million, and Michael Addamo looked like he was going to win it, and Yuri ended up winning it. So maybe that's a repeat for season 2 coming up today.
And that gave us some of the craziest hands that we spoke about for many weeks to come. I mean, him folding trips, being correct, and then making the most outrageous call with like third or fourth pair or something with his tournament live on the line. That really was a heads up for the ages. But let's talk about my pick then. So guys, I picked Gravy Boat, and Gravy Boat is not even named as a real ID player. We're not exactly sure why, because rumor is that he is actually someone that is somewhat well known and is pretty good, but that doesn't really matter. What does matter is that we watched him more than once actually make it to the final table of season 1, but he had that one day, Nano, and I kept talking about it, and you're kind of annoyed. You're like, yeah, we get it. Stop talking about this Gravy Boat dude. But he kept getting kings, aces, and queens, and he kept being forced to fold them. Do you remember that? It happened like 3 or 4 times in a row within the time span of 45 minutes to an hour, and he was right each and every single time. And sure, we remember the winners, but that is something I also remember. I'm like, wow, that guy's just getting setup after setup, and he managed to get away from them and be correct more than once. I was incredibly impressed by his performance. And I know that it's not that likely he's going to win it with 1.4 million chips against the 4.5 million of Addamo. But then you take the odds into consideration, right? Times like 12 to 1 or 11 to 1 or 2.5 to 1 for Michael Addamo. I honestly kind of like Gravy Boat because if he feels like he's correct, he's going to go with it. He gets one big double through Michael Addamo, and he's going to be at the top of the chip lead. So I really believe it's possible. And he just made a really good impression on me. And I believe in Gravy Boat. Seems like not many other people do, by the way. $300 total betting.
Yeah, just $300. But no, I agree with everything you said. I do vaguely remember him, but you are like really honed into all of its hands. You must be like a secret closet Gravy Boat fan, or just love gravy on all your food. But Gravy Boat, I have a really strong inkling on who it is. I won't say it because just when we have a real name ID'd, because he goes by like the same name in other places, I believe, unless there's just a big fanboy, which is possible. But this guy, he's really good. We've seen previously in the hand histories, the pre-show, he makes a lot of sick plays. He's very aggressive. He can make big folds. Because he's not real name ID'd here, he might be one of the best values, and maybe I do agree with your Rotterdam pick here, because at plus 1100, right, he's got almost the same stack as Alex Ponikov's, who's also an amazing player. But you know, if I had to choose between the two, I probably would choose Gravy Boat based on the odds alone, even though I think you know, they're like equal performer, I don't know, or very close. So I do kind of agree with you there.
Yep. Well, I'll just tell you what I've bet so far, and then maybe you can convince me to throw a few more dollars in there. But I actually went for $200 on total bets today. And that's not because I had a great week. I actually didn't have that great of a week. I've got a bad beat story for you. I know you're absolute favorite.
Love it.
Mate. Yeah, I know. You've been waiting for this, but we'll save it until the segment is over. But I was like, you know what, let's bet a little bit. So I did put $125 on Isaac Haxton, because obviously I think Isaac Haxton is great. He has shown us throughout, well, the last 15 years that he's great. And the odds for him to win are honestly quite good. Like, you're getting 6 to 1 for Isaac Haxton to win when he comes in second place. That's pretty big, Nananoko. You know that he's not going to have a weird blow up. You know that he's not going to just make obvious missteps. So with 6 to 1, I was like, all right, sending it for Isaac, $125. Then I obviously put $50 on Gravy Boat. I had to bet a bit less because the odds are so good on him. And then I also just put, for fun, a couple dollars at Bert Stevens at the bottom, just because, I mean, you look at those odds. What did I get for Bert? It was 16 to 1. And I feel that Bert Stevens can always run it off too. So I was like, just in case he's got one of those weeks where he does run it off, or Michael Addamo donates some chips. Like, I actually think you can look at tonight in two ways. One, yeah, Michael Addamo could steamroll the table. Or option two, you can actually go for some of the bigger payouts, because Michael Addamo does make the occasional, I wouldn't say misstep, but he gets a bit overeager. He can absolutely double up a couple of the shorties, and then they can just run away with it and potentially win it all.
Yeah, long story short, Michael Addamo, super high variance player. So you didn't put a single dollar on Michael Addamo again, Roddy. You were right last time, though, when he steamrolled the whole final table and lost to Yuri, though. But you probably felt like an idiot for most of that final table betting segment.
I did, but 2.56. It's so hard to win these final tables. Like, if he had 7 million chips, I'd be like, all right. Then I'll put money on Michael Addamo with 2.56. But it's so hard to get rid of 8 guys. Like, you just combine the stack of Isaac Haxton and Gravy Boat, and they pretty much have an even stack with Michael Addamo. Then in heads up, they can still turn it around. 2.5, I feel, is really low. No matter how great Michael Addamo is, it's still poker. You've got Nananoko in his corner that's going to say he already won it. So, yeah. Hey, I've got 1 minute left, by the way. Should I bet something?
If you're going to put something, I was going to tell you Bert Stevens, but apparently you already did it. So if you want to throw a little bit more money on the 3 guys you picked, that's all it is. Because I can't have you picking 4 of the guys and rooting, you know, anti-rooting too many people. So if you're going to double down, put some extra money on your little guy, 3 guys there.
What about Judd Trump, man? He's pretty good.
Judd Trump?
He won it.
He's pretty good. He's solid. Kind of like an underdog, I feel like. Because he just randomly won the last week. But, you know, he makes his plays. He's solid. You got like less than a minute. You got to hurry up and pick some money on someone.
All right. 33 on Judd Trump. we got half the table, baby.
Well, I'll tell you this. Patrick Leonard was asking if that's the real Judd Trump. Just saying.
Wait, what?
He was asking if that was the real Judd Trump, because apparently you say he's an English snooker player, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. But he's
No,
got but he's based in China with the Chinese flag.
Maybe he flies up and down, plays some snooker over the weekend in England, plays some poker in China over the weekend. Who knows? Patrick Leonard, by the way, mate, he is a gem. I'm so happy that you told me about his Instagram, because I honestly thought, I was like, all right, I'm a bit of a degenerate. And I know a lot of poker players say that, but then they're actually like the biggest nits, you know? They analyze everything. They never play above their bankroll. Like, I know I don't fall in that category. Like, I've made a fair share of bets on second division Brazilian football, Vietnamese basketball, you name it, and I've been
Vietnamese basketball. I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh, it is a thing, mate. They have college leagues going on, and you just bet on the over, and you sit back and you see if they score some points. But Patrick Leonard is like, without a kappa, as they would say on Twitch, no cap, he is analyzing these Paradise Hotel love shows and figuring out who's got the best odds in winning it. And he's like, oh, this guy, look at his selfie, he's pretty handsome, 50 to 1. And I'm like, is he actually serious? And then somebody replied, I'm like, yo, bro, this is next level degening. And he's like, no, I take this very serious. Like, he analyzes everything, and he takes a look at how, like, the Twitter universe reacts to people on that show, and then he picks the winner based on who's gonna get voted off. And I'm like, Patrick Leonard, mate, like, I don't know where he finds the time. Like, he, what?
That means he's watching these shows too, along with, like, doesn't he have time to play poker? I mean, my God, if he's betting on the random love shows out there too.
But he never misses a Sunday, so he's there every Sunday. He's grinding each and every single Sunday, and then he still finds value, apparently, as he like describes it. I was just laughing. I was like, this can't be serious. And then he actually replied to someone basically saying what I was thinking, like, you can't be serious now. And he's like, oh no, I'm very serious. There's serious value here. I was like, oh my God. Anyway, guys, that was it for our final table betting pre-show. Hopefully you guys got some final bets in. I did see a couple of extra dollars being thrown at Gravy Boat towards the end. So it increased with 50, 60 bucks. So there are a couple of believers out there. I think it's going to be hard to predict the winner today. Of course, Michael Addamo, chip leader. Sure, he is the obvious pick. But then you look at the odds and you're like, who else could win it? But we'll talk more about that later. This obviously means that now we have 28 minutes for our actual pre-show, where we take a look at the 9 profiles of these guys and take a look at some of the hands they've played on their journey. But because it's been so long, Nanonoko, I've got a bad beat story for you.
Yeah, all right, let's hear it. Get it out.
All right. So as you know, right now the WSOP online is taking place over at GGPoker. There's lots of tournaments, obviously some official races as well, but they also have all the side events. And I was like, there's a $210 Omaha tourney going on. I was like, you know what? I'll play it. So I played it. Actually, got off to a lucky start. Had an early double. That was where I was like slightly behind. But then I just ran it up and I made it deep. Like top 60 got paid. There were like 25 left. I have like a top 14, top 13 stack. So I'm doing real good. I've got this hand on the button. Ace, king, 8, deuce. And I raise and the big blind calls. Flop comes ace, ace, queen. I'm like, all right. So I bet small. He calls. Turn is a deuce. I have ace deuce as well, so I fill up. There are 3 diamonds on the board, and he pots into me, and I'm like, no way he has ace queen. Like, there's just no freaking way that he's got ace queen. I'm like, well, if he has ace queen, this is it. So I basically rejam for like 32 blinds. He's got 34 behind, so he slightly has me covered for the bounty, but it's not much. And he calls, but he didn't snap call. He took like 15 seconds. So I'm like, oh, probably pretty good. Maybe he's got like the nut flush, or maybe just has an ace. And he has ace 9 6 deuce. So we have the same hand. And then you know it. Flip over the river card at 9. And I'm like, slam my chair. I'm like, no! It's the first deep run I've had in weeks. We get it in with the same freaking hand. And he drills it on the river. Oh, I was so pissed. But yeah, mate, that was my weekend poker, basically.
I'm like thinking, like, okay, I thought he was slow rolling you. You're gonna tell me he's got the ace queen, or how does he scoop this pot when he just binked the kickers? Yeah, brutal.
It's so sad because I obviously had the king and the 8, he had the 9 and the 6, and I'm like, it's whatever. Like, we're supposed to chop it there. Come on, that's a chop pot. He shouldn't even want it, but he wanted it. Anyway, that was my bad beat story. Did you have anything exciting this week happening to you in the world of poker, Nana?
Not me specifically, but I did see Phil Hellmuth. He apparently won his 7th heads-up match in a row. He beat Fondiari 3 times. He beat Dan Negreanu 3 times, and he beat that Nick Wright basketball commentator guy 1 time. Now, apparently he's going to play Tom Dwan next, because Nick Wright didn't want a rematch. He's playing Tom Dwan. They're going straight to the 100K match, because normally you put up 50K each. They're going straight to that's going to be good. And
when is that happening?
I think I saw August 25th. You're welcome to go look at yourself, but it's around August, so it's about 3 weeks. Make sure that's going to be good, hands down. Because I don't know if you're familiar, but a long time ago there was a NBC Heads Up Championship or something where they get all the big pros out there.
Oh yeah, and they had the little interactions like, "We'll see if you're still around like 5 years from now."
Because this is way back then, and I think Tom Dwan got in pocket 10s against some pre-flop against aces and hit the 10 to eliminate him, right? And then obviously Phil Hellmuth goes on his rant, but Tom Dwan's like rolling his eyes like, this is standard, dude. It's heads up. But, you know, this is 10 years ago, so maybe it wasn't standard back then, but, you know, Tom Dwan was next level. And this is pretty much the perfect opponent for him to play next. And, you know, it's for 100K a pop each person. It's going to be good.
That's actually going to be good. I'll definitely tune in for that. All right, let's go ahead and dive into our pre-show for Week 6, Season 2 of the High Rollers Super Millions. As we're going to take a look at the beautiful profile of our chip leader tonight, Nananoko's pick of the week, Michael Addamo. This man, well, we've got new profiles too. Man, everything just looks so good. Our graphics team has really stepped it up. I didn't know we were going to get new profiles too. Love it. Michael Addamo, 2-time WSOP bracelet winner. As you guys can see, he took rank 3 in the High Roller Super Millions Season 1, just behind Mr. Gamble, also known as Jay Anderson, and Nicholas Osted, of course. Won 2.2 millions. And of course, he's still our only 3-time champ. Right?
That is correct. And he can be the first person to win a Season 1 and a Season 2. You always talk about that. It's only episode 6. He's in position to do it. If we look at this profile, my God, look at those first places. And those are not first place he won 50K scores. These are first place 300K scores, right? But for some reason, we got a second place there. We need to remove that. We're going to get a win here today. Michael Addamo, he's sick. I'm excited.
I mean, second place in a WSOP bracelet event is still pretty good, mate. That's more than a lot of us have to show for. Well, he's our chip leader, and you know when Michael Addamo comes into the final table as chip leader, it's truly buckle up and enjoy the ride, because you know he's not going to be passive. But I'm sure that he also wants to make sure he doesn't have an epic throw early on and he somehow goes out in 5th place, which should technically be impossible. But nothing is impossible for the man who won 3 of these tournaments in the first 11 weeks of us running it in Season 1. Let's go ahead and take a look at one of the hands he's had, and actually kind of a fun one, you know? Sometimes we have hands that are like, yeah, you know, it's like whatever. But he defends the big blind with 9 deuce, flop, stop, and bottom pair. But the run out, I think in a way is a bit gross with that second 4 on the river. Like, it would kind of scare me. What do you make of this hand?
I mean, it's always scary when it's a paired board, but when you really look at it and break it down, like his opponent in this hand raised from the hijack, it's so unlikely he's got a 4, because I think the only 4 he loses to is ace 4, and you know, obviously that's very unlikely. He knows his image is obviously pretty insane, like he just bluffs so much that he thinks he's going to get looked up by like a pocket pair that c-bet the flop, like, you know, 8s and lower. He thinks he'll get looked up by ace highs. When he does overbet, it's more polarizing. You know, like he just goes for thin value here. Yes, he got counterfeited. But he thinks that if his opponent had a hand better than a 9, it would always bet the turn, because this is a clean turn card, right? Like, nothing gets there on the turn besides pocket 4s. You know, but pocket 4s do always make a set. It's always got to be something you worry about. But when the quads come, then you don't put them on the pocket 4s anymore. It's quite different.
That was obviously my angle. It was not that I'm super worried that John had a 4 here. It's more that he could have 10s and he could have jacks and maybe just check one time for pot control and see what the river brings. But yeah,
I wouldn't expect them to play safe with 10s plus, especially on this run out. Like, you're just going to get so much value from a 9 yourself that you'd be betting those over pairs. And especially if we look at the stack size of Michael Addamo, it actually isn't that large at this point. So if you bet the turn, it's not like you're going to lose 5 million chips or something. So that's something you need to think about, is the stack sizes too. Regardless, Addamo here, you can see even with some of the weaker hands, he's still going for the max value or putting the max pain and pressure.
It seems like we've got new graphics now too, and I can only assume that this screenshot is being taken from Michael Addamo's point of view. So now we can see his labels. Maybe he thinks those 4 guys are good and Sergey is not good. What's happening here? Because I feel like whenever you have Alex Ponakov and Gravy Boat, they've got the same color. That probably means Michael Addamo expects them a lot. And even Anti Ninja that we're not that familiar with, but they did make it to our final table. We'll talk more about that later. Let's just take a look at the other beautiful profile then of the man that's chasing him, who's just been having a much better season 2 so far than he's had season 1. As you guys can see, Isaac Haxton was ranked 42 season 1, won almost $1 million, but most of that came from a single tournament. Well, he did have a 3rd and a 2nd place too. No, that's actually July. Well, the July 18th is definitely season 2. I guess March 21st. That was one of his other good runs in season 1, but season 1 wasn't all that much. Season 2 is just going a whole lot better for good old Hollywood Haxton.
I mean, he's already cashed 409,000 in season 2, and it's only been 6 episodes. So tell me this guy's average cashing 150K per tournament he enters. That's a pretty good ROI, right? So I don't even know what hand this is. I mean, I've seen a lot of Hollywood Haxton footage out there. He looks, he's got a flush. Nice. Anyways, he's an amazing player. He once upon a time had very long hair. Now it's much shorter. And he's sick. I don't know what else to say. He hates Ace 10 offsuit. Don't forget that.
Really? Is that a thing?
Well, yeah, because remember, I don't know if you remember, we were watching Haxton before. He always got away from the Ace 10 correctly, and stuff like this. Or he'll just open folded, or he won't 3-bet, or won't flat call. It just Ace 10 offsuit is just hates it. Doesn't matter.
Hates Ace 10 offsuit and gets into the occasional Twitter argument with Doug Polk. And besides that, he's a great poker player. Let's go ahead and take it.
He's in a hand against Poke right now. It's just funny that you just said that, because I see Poke.
Let's go ahead and take a look at one of the hands where Isaac Haxton was battling it out with Alex Ponakov's, I believe. Safe to say that this is a dream run out for Mr. Haxton, and you'd get paid off. What do you make of this hand, Nebenoko?
Yeah, it's actually quite interesting. You know, even the flop, right? The flop, Alex Ponakov's C-bets, you know, quite big. 24,000 into 28,000. That's a huge bet. So, you know, that might make Ace Jack would always call it like 33%, maybe some 50%, you know, but 80% plus, you know, that's quite large. But Haxton just knows his opponent. His opponent does bet bigger C-bets out there, puts more pressure. Still going to call the Ace Jack high. Even Alex Ponakov raising an early position. It's not an easy call on the flop. It does run out 4 flush. And what's interesting on the river is he goes for a quarter pot bet here. Just trying to get called by something. You know, some guys, whenever they hold the nut on the 4 flush, they probably bet at least half pot, or maybe they go for a check, hope their opponent bet. But Haxton went for the quarter pot, like, please call me. And his opponent called him without even a club in his hand, just top pair rivered. Perfect sizing, tough to play against. You know, you can't be like, well, he's not betting at least half pot, so he probably doesn't have the nuts here. And, you know, Haxton, he's just very versatile, very good mix of bet sizings.
Yep. Pretty interesting hand, I think, especially because of the pots or that size indeed on the flop. Well, speaking of Alex Ponakov, let's go ahead and take a look at his beautiful profile then, as we have 17 minutes until the cards go up in the virtual air. We still have 6 more players to cover, 7 including this man. I feel like Alex Ponakov started getting hot a bit later in season 1, right? It wasn't like the first 10 weeks or the first 15 weeks, but then was this one period where he just kept showing up each and every single week, made a lot of final tables in the end, and at the end also always just had a good showing. Never really had like a silly way where he went out. Sometimes it was just kind of unavoidable, or there wasn't much he could have done. But I think over time, Alex Ponakov really grew on us, and I think he showed throughout season 1 that he's just an excellent poker player.
Yeah, and I remember he always sells action. As you can see in this one, he sold 30%, only sold 10% this time. But usually he would just sell out all of it. But so if you're a fan of him, you can watch today. You can always get some action in his next one, assuming you get the first bullet, because sometimes he's in for 4 bullets. It happens. But season 1, rank 13, I think that's pretty good. Right? Like, I don't know.
No, that's
13.
very good. We had like 1,500 players. So.
Yeah. So it's pretty good. He's he understands the game very well. He plays a little bit different, but man, if he's got the chip lead or like near the top, he will put maximum pressure, especially pre-flop, even post-flop. He'll go over some bad jams. So definitely a scary player. Hasn't won it yet,
Yeah.
but good.
That was about my point. It's actually kind of insane that he won 1.4 million in season 1, made that many final tables, finished top 13 in the end, which is very high, but has never won it. He has to be one of our biggest winners that has never won it yet. That's a fun stat for our production crew that I'm sure they'll let us know about soon. But I'm pretty sure that Alex Ponakov has to be one of our biggest winners that has never won it yet. Anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at one of the hands where I almost want to say uncharacteristically, he got really out of line. No, what the hell happened in this hand?
This is just straight up gangsta, right? Because look, Panakov's opening the cutoff. Okay, not the button. The button you can be like, okay, sure, he's only got the blinds left. Dude's opening the cutoff with 9 deuce suited. That in itself is a slap in the face to all the other 3 players behind him. Gets called in 2 spots. C-bets the flop. Okay, it's king high, and then he gets called. Bets a turn huge when he picks up an open and a straight draw. He gets called again. At this point, he must think his opponent has at least a king. Then he jams him all in for his... It's an overbet jam, right? Because the guy's got 900k left, there's 600k in the middle. Just on a stone cold bluff here, man. And, you know, he gets his opponent, I assume, is like a king jack, king queen, king 10 or something. Something quite strong. It's a sick play. If he does these plays, man, he can steamroll the final table if he can just pick up some traction against Michael Addamo.
You know what's even more gangster? He showed the deuce.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Do you remember this or something? How do you know?
No, they have these little card player things for us to go over the hand history, and I always take a look at them. And I took a look at this hand, and after the hand was done, he threw the deuce into the center. So Alex Polakov's a bit out of line and showing no respect for any of the 3 guys on his left. Got it done, but this is obviously not something you want to do too often because it could also be a very silly exit of your tournament. Then let's go ahead and take a look at my pick of the week. The man that's not labeled under his real idea, but we can guarantee you that he's one hell of a player. Gravy Boat from Ireland, or at least that's where he's playing from. Did not make an insane amount of final tables in season 1, but he also did not play each and every single week. Won a little over 500,000, rank 85 in the end. Did take a top 4 finish on November 1st, and that's that one performance that really stuck with me. Because Nanonoko, the man should have won it that night. He really should have. He played excellent, he played great. He just got proper unlucky. I wanted to give him a hug. But I really think that he's going to surprise a lot of us tonight. And almost no one believes in him. Final table betting was incredibly low. But I think this dude is incredibly good.
Apparently he won the 25k during Super Millions week for 635,000. That is not a soft tournament at all. And then he also won the $150 GG Master Freeze Out for 65k. Right? You're not allowed to rebuy into tournament. How the hell did he do that? But pretty impressive for Gravy Boat.
Yeah, it's a beautiful profile, but obviously that bottom right, we got to work on that a little bit, Gravy Boat. And that's what he's going to try to start doing today. Let's go ahead and take a look at one of the hands Gravy Boat had. And I think that you're going to be quite fond of this one too. Even though I think we can say the man got lucky. Just some good old ordinary dirty luck. Nothing else to it, Nanonoko.
Yeah, but I do like the way he played the hand, even though he did get lucky. Archer, he played it amazing too, because he had to call off 20-something big blinds on the turn with just ace king high. Was correct here. He goes raise, 3-bet call, ace 5 suited. That's solver special. You know, you can't be folding that free. You can't be folding this flop. You might be good. You got some backdoors. You hit some backdoors, and you make a play. That's the thing. If you're gonna play these hands, you're gonna float these flops. You turn that card and gets checked. You need to put the maximum pressure. You shouldn't check and just try to see what happens. And yes, he did get lucky here, but I think he played it phenomenal.
Yeah, I saw that Arthur. It's just indeed a bit unlucky, but yeah. Do you think he would make a similar play if that's the deuce of hearts or the deuce of spades?
Yeah, I'm not so sure, but I do think he would still bet. Would he go for all the chips? I'm not too sure, but yeah, I feel like you still want to move your opponents off of the ace king, ace queen, ace jacks, or even those those hands like king queen or something like that. But yeah. But did you see in our little graphic production on point? They told us who was the people who did perform the best that never won the Super Millions.
Oh, and who is it?
Okay, so he's actually the fourth Alex Bonikov's biggest winner. Above him, the biggest winner is David Yan. He finished 7th in season 1. And then it's Jal Vera in 11th or something. Yeah, Jal Vera, he's a big winner too. And Julian Stewart, who I don't recall, but I think he did really well in one of the
Big
special
ones.
editions or 25K ones.
Exactly.
So those are the 4 guys who did the best, who have not won a Super Millions before.
I mean, Javiera was racking up final table after final table, so that kind of makes sense too. Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Well, we've got 10 minutes to go, and we still have 5 more players to cover, so let's get to it. Next up is the profile of Judd Trump. Not the actual snooker player, but we do know that he won our Super Millions 1-year anniversary edition. It was kind of funny because Judd Trump came up very late throughout season 1. First 40 weeks, we'd never seen him. Then he started making not just one final table, but it was final table after final table after final table, almost final table, another final table. But he always came in with like 3 big blinds, 5 big blinds, 4 big blinds. But then the one time he actually came into our final table with a proper stack at our anniversary edition. He won it all, and he really played some awesome poker that night.
Yeah, he kept on getting 9th place, I remember. But yeah, he played amazing in the anniversary edition, which he won. He didn't even play the Super Millions, I believe, until like the second half. So that's why you start to see his name a lot more. He's a solid player, very consistent, and yeah, I just think he's quite good.
Yep. And other than like, I know it says 3 final tables, but he was like our bubble boy, or took like 10th or 11th a couple of times as well. Obviously, those scores were smaller than top 14 at the GG Spring Series Festival edition, but he really had a lot of deep runs where I watched him each and every Sunday. It was pretty fun, but never a big stack until our anniversary edition, and then he won it all. Let's go ahead and take a look at one of the hands that Mr. Judd Trump had on his journey to, I think, his first final table in season 2. And these are the kind of hands that are kind of lovely to play, right? Someone bets into you, you raise it with top set, and then the next guy's like, I'm all in. And you're like, cool, bruv. I think I'll call.
And they can see Alexei Boyka just ruined Dimitri Urbanovic here, right? Because if he had re-raised pre-flop instead of smooth calling, try to trap him, the ace-4 suited would have been out of there. If he had re-raised, maybe the pocket nines gets out of there. And, that's what happens. You slow play. You learn it from all the time. When you go to the casino, you play live poker, they always tell you can't slow play those aces. You can't let them hit those sets or those big blind specials. But they hit this time. Out.
That's all she wrote. Pretty brutal hand. Obviously, you're Urbanovic, and you open up ace-4 spades on the gun. You flop bottom pair in the nut flush draw. You're like, that's really good. And then you see the hands that you go up against. You're like, you know what? It's not so good. And obviously for Alexei Boyka, it felt even worse because he's like, lovely. I've got aces. I'm all in, and I've got 1 out. Nice life, bro. All right, we're moving on. Let's take a look at the profile of Yuri, the man we already touched upon briefly in the pre-show. He, of course, had that legendary heads-up against Michael Addamo on March 23rd, 2021. He won that one. Also made quite a few final tables, 7 of them in total. Finished rank 11 in season 1. I mean, Yuri is kind of a beast, isn't he, Dana?
He is a sick beast. I think a lot of guys didn't know he was a beast before the Super Millions. Now in the Super Millions, just consistently makes final tables, good scores. He's just strong. He makes a lot of final. I remember he made a lot of final tables in season 1. Season 2, he's got a back-to-back final table here today.
Let's go ahead and take a look at one of the hands that Yuri had, which was also actually quite a harsh one for once more Artur Martirosyan. Poor Artur. He's trying, guys. He's trying to make an appearance in season 2, but it ain't quite working out. If you look at the hands on the flop, and you're like, explain to me how King 8B checked hand there, no, because on the flop it doesn't seem very likely, does it?
It's those back doors, right? Once you see it, you can't see it. He does turn it backdoor, nut flush draw. Gets bet into pretty tiny. Of course, he's gonna call. Binks it. Opponent jams. Well, easy call here. Just too bad for Archer. Obviously, this was his final bullet, given how deep they were into the tournament. I just don't know if it was bullet number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7 for Archer. But it's Yuri. He's got the chips.
Yeah, it's like 7 big blinds on the river that Arthur has left, and then obviously you are gonna call if you Yuri. What if it's like 17? Would you still call with the paired board and everything?
These guys will call with worse here. Of course you would, because maybe your opponent's value betting a worse flush, or he's just value betting like a king 10. Like, sometimes in this game, especially in the super millions, you just gotta be like, if you got me beat, you got me beat. If you overfold, you could be making some pretty sick, pretty bad plays that they're just gonna add up, and you gotta play the math sometimes too.
All right. Taking a look at our next player then. I think we're going to take a look at the profile of Francisco, who I believe, I don't know if he won a 25. He did something on the Sunday while making the final table of this one. He did something else, and our production crew will let us know what it was exactly. But I know that he did something else that was kind of good while this was happening. But as you guys can see, he is a newcomer to our final table. He's never made a final table before. Did get close a couple of times in big ones too, as you guys can see. But never went all the way, so we don't know that much about him, other than the fact that he's from Uruguay. And I know you love them guys from Uruguay, Nananoka. You always tell me they're crazy. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at one of the hands of Francisco then and see how crazy he really is.
Well, in this hand, not so crazy, because, he made the nut straight. But he did a little tricky here. He bet the turn. He made his hand and went for river, pretty much check raise all in, but his opponent didn't take the bait. But Francisco, he's real good. I'm surprised he hasn't reached our final table yet. I believe he's known as Tomati. A lot of guys who are in the online poker world will know him. He's just a sicko, really. Just hasn't, I don't know if he hasn't played the Super Millions or whatnot, but we'll see.
We will see indeed. I'm excited. Most of the time when you hype someone up, they actually deliver, Nana. You build a little bit of a reputation for yourself in that regard. So let's see what Francisco is made of. We've got 3 minutes until our final table starts, and we obviously need to get our picks in too. And we have 2 more players to cover. So let's go ahead and take a look at the profile of Auntie_Ninja. A high roller regular, but it's his very first appearance in Season 2. Never played in Season 1. So, seems like he might not be a stranger to these stakes, Nananoko, but has not played a whole lot.
How can it be a he? It's Auntie Ninja, not like Uncle Ninja. It's probably a she, if you look at the name. Come on.
I don't judge on names, Nananoko. Yeah, it could be a she. It could also be a he. There's nothing wrong with an auntie that wants to be a he, Nananoko.
Of course, but we don't got much time. Let's check out the hand history.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at one of the hands that Auntie Ninja had.
Bink.
Versus Daniel DeVoris. Bink on the turn, indeed. Not straight. Pretty good?
Pretty good. I mean, yeah, you call it a check raise with the king jack here, because DeVoris can check raise bluff. And once you bink it, you just got to keep calling down, let him keep bluffing. If he's got a 10, he's going to lose it all anyways.
It is kind of an insane call, though, because you could be drunk that. I know it's not that likely, but you could be.
I mean, you could be. But like I said, man, you just got to go for it. If they've got it, they've got it. For someone to check raise on an ace 10-10 rainbow too, like, they don't check raise all 10s. They don't check raise an ace for sure. Like, your opponent's pretty polarized. I think the call on the flop is not standard, but reasonably standard.
I'd be pretty disgusted if I was Daniel DeVoris.
Of course.
Calling me with a gut shot? You get called by a gut shot, they drill it, and you actually lose all your chips. Brutal one for Daniel, but obviously good job, Auntie Ninja. We'll keep a close eye on you tonight. We'll wish you all the best. That means we have one more profile to cover before it's time for some actual live poker, the main event of the evening. What you guys are here for, and what we are here for too. Because profiles are nice, stats are fun, and histories are cool. We, of course, want to see some actual live poker. Our last profile, it will be the profile of Bert Stevens, who comes into this final table as short stack, obviously known as the Giraffe Ganger. I think we have given this man a lot of praise, and he deserves all the praise and a whole lot more. He actually knocked me out of a 525 Supersonic not too long ago, and he waved at me. I did not appreciate that, Bert. Actually, no, he didn't knock me out, but he did wave at me, and he got the best of me. I tried to defend my big blind a couple times, and like, you know what, Nanonoko, I'll just let him have it. You know, you gotta know your
Speed it
place
up,
in life.
Roddy.
You gotta know your place in life. Let's go ahead and take a look at one of the hands that Bert Stevens had, where he battled it out with Yuri, and that's quite a fun one. Nano, real quick.
Yeah, I mean, look, dude, value bet a 6 of hearts on turn. Got called by a pair of 6s on a 4 flush. I mean, pretty sick. Well done. He's a great player. I want to know what animals he's got in the farm now.
Well, I'm sure that if he does well tonight, maybe we're gonna expand that farm a little bit. Who knows, Nanonoko? So yes, let's go ahead and take a look at our table then. And I do know finally what Francisco did, and I wasn't totally sure, as we are taking a look at Francisco is currently in the middle of seat selection process. So what Francisco did is win a Road to Vegas package. While this High Roller Super Millions was going on Sunday, right now there are a lot of Road to Vegas things happening over at GG, where basically what you're playing is a satellite, but then instead of getting a virtual ticket, you're actually winning, like, I think it's $11,500. So 10K for the main event and 1,500 for
Sick.
travel. And Francisco won one of those packages, and they've already given away over 20. And there are plenty of qualifiers running, well, for a long time. So if you guys dream of making it to the main event, I believe there are even $8 qualifiers into the $80 satellite to then win that main event. So you can start as low as $8 and become the 2021 version of Chris Moneymaker.
2020. Like, what year did he win? Do you have any? 2013, maybe?
No, it was way earlier than that, mate.
No, was
Way
it?
earlier. It was like 2004-ish.
My
I
God,
can
I
look
was
it up.
10 years off. This is a big difference there. Addamo gets
2000.
the final seat selection here. So you're gonna have to get your seat pickings, your final table, our little side bet in soon.
So do I get first pick?
You do get first pick. So, like, is
pick-
there a world where you do not pick Michael Addamo? Is there?
Yes. This is the world. I'll pick Isaac Haxton.
Are you kidding me? Okay, well, if that's your pick, I'm picking Michael Addamo. Thank you for the free points to our leaderboard, Roddy. I cannot believe you gave up free money in final table betting. You gave up free money in our little side bet today. All right.
We'll see.
Good luck.
Moneymaker won the World Series main event in 2003. What did I say? Did I say 2003?
2004. Close.
Close enough. But you said 2013. That's a terrible... Mate, sometimes I really wonder about the things you say, because you're obviously very knowledgeable about poker. Let's look at Auntie Ninja, by the way, first hand. Get the hell out of here, Michael Addamo. I'm not just going to sit here and let you run me over. Well done, Auntie Ninja. Man, that takes some cojones, mate. In the first hand, you waited a day and a half to play your final table of a 10K. Well done.
Yeah, you came here to play, and that's a big play because Ace-9 offsuit for 21 big blinds, but against Addamo, you know, like, you just got to go for it. Ace-10 here, Adamo's already falling apart, Roddy. He's gonna 3-bet this. Like, there's no way he never 3-bets his hand. Like, he's not Isaac. Isaac folds Ace-10 correctly.
What do you think that Judd Trump does here? Is there a world where he will just call and let Michael Addamo hang himself?
Oh man, if he knew Michael Addamo, he should just call here.
He knows.
He should. He really should. But some people, man, they get a little antsy with 2 kings. They're like, well, you know, they still 3 aces in the deck. If they're playing 3-betting me with a crappy card, or they got queens and jacks, I want to get it in. There's a lot of guys with 20 big blinds. Yeah, kind of felt a 4-bet coming. But, like, you can see the ace. I don't know, Ace-10's not out yet. Is he? They've played a lot together, of course. Super Millions every week.
So it's 6 big blinds extra for Michael Addamo to call. And behind this, Judd Trump has 19. So it's 6 to call and 19 behind.
He hasn't folded yet. Addamo does use some time bank here. Whew.
If he goes all in, Judd Trump is going to have the quickest call in the West. But Michael Addamo does fold correctly. That's still a rough start for you, man. 0 for 2 so far.
Oh, my God. Like, those odds should be higher now, right? Like, you telling me you had first pick, didn't pick Michael Addamo, and you didn't put any money on final table betting. I don't know what you're doing, Roddy. You just don't like money.
Well, first of all, we have alts in play, right, for our game. So even if I
Yes, of
would pick
course.
the winner here correctly, it's not like I would get a monster score on the board.
You
And
need
no
a
one
score.
has one. Okay, I know it would be my first score, but anyway, we've got Yuri opening things up here with ace 10, and he flops an ace. I don't think Francisco will really get in a lot of trouble here, but we will see him in the main event in Vegas. Thanks, Gigi.
He probably would have went anyways, but yeah.
I know, but still,
We need to see a Roddy at the main event. Like
I
that would be
actually will
crazy.
try some of the qualifiers. I mean, there's $80 qualifiers. It's obviously not, you're not going to win 10 seats in an $80 qualifier. I know that, of course, but it will definitely be fun to try because then at least, you really feel like you're fighting for something. I do hope I can make it to Vegas this year, actually, for the World Series.
And you know Elky will be there, right? Like so that'll be some good. I'll try to make it out there. We can hang out. It'll be fun.
I know. We can talk about Pocket Force, mate.
And I'm like, yeah, this dinner party is over. I'm leaving. Like
All right, so Yuri wins his first hand of the evening. We've got a couple of decent hands at the bottom, actually. Alex Ponakov with King Jack suited, Francisco in the small blind with Ace 10 offsuit. Everything looks so clean. They've done an amazing job with our new graphics, man.
yeah, I actually prefer this a lot more. It just looks so much cleaner too. I love it.
Well, I mean, I hope so. No. It'd be very, very bad if they've been working day and night around
Got
the clock
worse.
trying to improve the show. And then I was like, I like the old stuff better anyway. I mean, yes, I'm glad you enjoyed more, but that's the point of upgrading in general.
Interesting spot here. So ace 10, 20 big blinds, Francisco. Button opens. Could be a reshove spot. Could be a flag call. Could be a fold. Could be a 3-bet. And see what happens. He's going to go for the reshove. And gonna work.
Good move.
Yeah.
And the boys are here to play today. They are not afraid. Like, obviously, this is, you can say, a relatively standard play, but it's still 20 big blinds that you're shoving.
Mm-hmm.
And you've been waiting a day and a half to make it to this final table. It's $12,500, by the way. The WSOP Road to Vegas GG care package, so 10K entry and then 2.5K for travel.
Let's talk about seat selection a little bit. Okay, so Michael Addamo had the last pick. Look, he sat across from Isaac Haxton. So we've been seeing that first place sitting away from second place a bit. Let's see who he took position on. He took position on Bert Stevens. I'm not really sure what his game plan here is with the seat selection. Like he just wants to be kind of by the smaller stack so he can kind of pick on them a bit more, I think.
I think that's what it is. And it actually makes me happy to see because this was my mindset when I was relatively new to commentating these final tables with you. It's like whenever I make it to a final table and I'm like a top two stack or I have last pick, I actually avoid the second biggest stack. But I was like, I know that I'm a real big fish for doing that, but I rather better with the shorties than better with the big stack. And now I feel like over the last year, we've seen this quite often.
Yeah, we've seen people kind of just change their strategy over time on the seat selection thing. Obviously, first pick spy got no choice because he just picks a random spot. Pocket queens, or potentially the lady ninja here. Perfect hand too, but Yuri's got a little queen six action, but it's gonna be hard for that hand to beat pocket queens. Little
If you're
spade or
closing the
somewhere.
action, it is always tempting to just call, right? You toss in that one
Yeah,
big blind, see a flop.
almost any suited hand for the one big blind with the stack size. Flops a little gutter ball. Maybe he makes a move somewhere. I'm not sure.
I kind of feel that if there was one spade on the board, you can
Oh,
justify continuing, but without the
yeah.
spade, I think I would just honestly give up.
Goes check check. Very surprising check from the queens. I don't know if I love it because I guess you're like, oh, this board hits the big blind a bit, but I don't know. It's a scary board to check back queens, right? Now he's just checking it down.
If you're anti ninja now, you're like, there's just no way that I win this hand, right?
You're just hoping
Yeah.
at this point. Yuri, he knows his hand's no good, but just doesn't think a hand would fold. You're gonna be like,
Oh.
wow, look at that check on the flop. The people are gonna be like, okay, maybe I move them up. Well done.
Wow,
So,
Alex Ponakov would have flopped the straight and rivet the flush with his 7-6 of diamonds. Pretty
yeah.
sick.
To be fair, he had a chance to call pre-flop if he wanted to. So
Yeah.
he folded. It's not one of those I folded two deuce six offsuit, hit trips. Let me show you kind of hand. Playable.
That's actually annoying as well. You flop the nuts and then your hand just gets better over time. You're like, no. But it would have been hard for him to get a whole lot of chips there against the queens, especially if the queens want to be that passive in the first place.
The most tilting is when you fold a hand that you're thinking about playing, and then what we got sevens and king queen. So we
Yeah. Uh,
it's
Even
good.
like Bert Stevens with his suited king in the small blind. I mean,
Yeah,
I know he plays 20 big blinds, so he's probably not going to get too out of line. But
I know Bert would be reshoving this hand on Michael Adamo's open, but seats are a little bit different here. He's gonna fold king queen. I'm curious. I can see him
just
doing
call.
multiple things here. He might just call, but he does Adamo. He might just 3-bet rip it in. Be like, you can't call. He does 3-bet rip it in.
Wow.
Can 2-7s call here? This 2-7s could be the best hand by far. Folds. Well done.
That's actually insane. I feel like there's not too many people who'd be willing to do that. He picks up ace queen the following round. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so annoying for Yuri because you know that at best you're flipping, right? Like
I
I
wouldn't
know.
say no. I don't think that's true. I do think
Okay,
Adamo would reshove hands like sixes and fives there. Even maybe he might just ship a lot of hands, just thinking this guy's
pocket
gonna go for
fours.
some pay jumps, pocket fours. Yeah, I think it's very possible. Not everyone will do it, but man, I think those 2-7s. I think if you really think about it, maybe it's a call somewhere. The only problem is if we throw an ICM, maybe it becomes a fold more because maybe you boss against those king queens or queen jack suited and stuff like that.
If Isaac Haxton doesn't open, it will probably be Michael Addamo opening again, and then Anti Ninja can just jam. But Isaac Haxton does open. Let's see what Anti Ninja does now.
You cannot make a guy who looks at PIO solver and solvers and stuff like this fold ace four, ace five suited. It's just not possible. Even if you're suspicious, you just still play the hand just because you got to play solver special.
So far, my man Gravy Boat not really getting anything playable yet, but if we think back of that one final table he had, maybe that's a good thing. Just wait and eventually call off on the big blind, see a flop.
Ace four,
Flop it.
man, for this price is real tempting, but I think he sees it and it's like, man, I just don't feel like you're making a move on me. Let's fold.
A really solid start so far for Anti Ninja. I believe almost no one put any dollars on Anti Ninja when it came to the final table betting. But he's been having a pretty good
Was
time
there
so
more
far.
money put on Auntie Ninja than Gravy Boat though? Because Gravy Boat had like nothing.
No, Gravy Boat got up to $450. Okay, so some people took my advice serious, and they started putting some money on him. As Michael Addamo is very casually. Anti Ninja less money, $283.
But it was like it was almost the same thing at one point, 300 apiece. Man,
Yeah.
that's disrespectful to those two people. 24,000 up top, man. Whew.
6K on Michael Addamo as well.
Yeah.
That's like over $40,000 today in total when it came to final table betting.
There was 100 betters, I believe, when we're doing the pre-show. 14 people just hopped in and bet on Michael Adamo, huh?
That is correct. I mean, we don't really know when that screenshot has been taken, but
True.
yeah, there's often some extra money coming in the final 8-9 minutes. Sometimes people also just forget. As we have Judd Trump opening up ace 8 of clubs and Gravy Boat, my pick of the week, is going to play his first hand. He's going to 3-bet the ace king. I like
So
it so far, Nano. Nothing to be concerned about.
you put down $50 on Gravy?
Yes.
It's a big bet. It's a big bet, Rowdy. That can turn into like 11-1, I think. Turn into something nice. Some PLO buy-ins.
Actually, I have not played that much PLO cash over the last few weeks.
Okay. Interesting. So Queens, Ace Jack insta out. I think we're just gonna walk it around. Unless the 8-9 suited wants to come along. Now he's out.
Yeah.
Big hands, but no action on for anyone.
Wouldn't hate it there if Francisco comes around, but it's so annoying when you do make that call and then the big blind makes a play, right? And you're like, no, I can't even get to see my flop.
Yeah, that's one thing too. And you're playing like a 25 big blind stack, so the odds, hitting your hand, you just don't get as good value. Playing from small blind out of position against under the gun. Like sometimes hands look so pretty, but you can't be like, oh, I've got to play it. You just got to look at the positions too. And then you look at the prize pool and you're like, yeah, no way I'm playing this hand.
Alex Ponakov is going to open things up for the first time tonight and just pick one up with his ace-4 offsuit. Sevens in an early position.
Just garbage. Ooh. Any more bad beat stories?
No, not. I mean, the Beat the Pros tournament, or the Beat the Idiots, as you like to call it, is actually on pause for a while WCP is going on. But I believe now there is like a 50% version of it running. So that's kind of fun. I did play that, but wasn't a very good run by me. That's all I remember. Played a couple of the $50 tournament that they had the final phase of, or the final day last Sunday night, but no magical runs there either. So just like not a fun bet. Like the Omaha one, I thought was pretty funny, where you go all in deep into the tournament with the same hand, and then you get rivered by one of the kickers. Other than that, it's just the same old Nano. It happens to everyone, so it's not worth sharing.
I hold on, see anything good here? Ace check suited. I don't know.
Haxton
Maybe
might
it'll be
open
good.
though.
Yeah. I think we got a little action here. I was gonna say I saw one of the World Series schedule. I think one of them was a flip out or something like
Yes,
that. That's
that
gonna
is
be a fun
actually
one.
happening. Yeah, I've got some info as Michael Addamo shows the table that he just got to walk on ace jack suited. Now, that is right. For the first time ever, there is going to be a flip out tournament. It will be happening live in Vegas. The rules are somewhat the same, couple of little differences. Basically, you cannot buy in with like 6 bullets, 8 bullets. Like whenever you enter a table, everyone does have just one entry. And then it's not that the cards are face up, the cards are actually face down. And that is just to provide any sort of collusion and stuff between players and whatnot. Or
Oh,
because otherwise
interesting.
people could wait, like I could wait to see like what you're playing, and otherwise it gets too hectic. So it is a flip out tournament, but it will be cards down, not up.
So it's flipping down to in the money. Is that right? Or how does it
Yeah.
work?
Yeah,
And
yeah, no,
then
that's how it works. And then you start playing normal poker.
okay, yeah, no, that's really fun. Be
Yeah.
real fun.
Might be my way to get my first official WSOP cash, baby.
So you can only put in one entry, you're saying?
No, you can definitely try multiple times, but it's not like where we start a table and I have 8 stacks and you only have 1 stack. Like everybody has the same amount of chips at the start of the table. But you
Ah,
can try
okay.
multiple times. Bert Stevens got pocket
Oh,
fours. One of the fours is out though.
yeah, but unless he opened jams here, we ain't seeing a flop.
Bert Stevens definitely watching the show. He knows that the fours are magical. But I'm sorry, Bert. One of the fours has been folded by Yuri, and he folds the fours. He didn't go into the tank. He's like, I know the boys are watching.
You know Gravy Boat's gonna play his ace nine suited, right? Because he's like, Addamo opening the cutoff. My hand is good, man. If a Gravy Boat had,
Yeah.
say, 300,000 chips less, I think he auto jams this pre-flop. Wow,
Oh,
both top pair. That's also bad.
mm-hmm. Definitely still bad here for my pick of the week, Gravy Boat. If it's against anyone else, I'd be like, it's not that bad. We can get away here. But Adama just has that reputation. He's going to open everything. You can't just give him credit for an ace. You also have the back doors with the 7 of hearts.
Guarantee he loses at least 2 streets of value here. While it's a big bet too, 75% Gravy Boat. He's got potential. There's hearts, there's 10, there's an 8, there's a 9. There's things that could maybe help him catch up. But right now, it's looking bad. Calls, there's an 8, so a little bit of outs.
Yeah, but 9 or a 10 is what Gravy Boat is looking for on the river. And Adama's probably going to bet real big here, too.
He bet 75% pot on the flop. The 8 is just, I don't think Gravy Boat could fold too, because like Addamo, maybe he's got like a queen 10 double gutted on the turn, just keep barreling away, right? 2 clubs. Well, he's imaginative. He could have anything. He could have like an 8-9, just blasting away.
Gravy Boat could very well have the best hand here. We know that's not the case. It is indeed a big bet. Over 10 big blinds, 419,000 chips. That's like almost 50% of the stack.
Can he call with this hand? It feels criminal to fold this, right? Especially against Addamo. Like against everyone else, I'd probably just go sigh. I'm out. But here, chance he just goes with it. It's like, man, you're on a draw. You're just trying to move me off my hand. I'm blocking the straight. Like, what do you? What do you got here?
Poor gravy boat. I'm
Ace
completely
thinking.
with you. I think
And he's
against anyone
suspicious.
else.
He's super suspicious, you know? Like, we've seen him play in the past. Roddy, I don't know. Your $50. Is it lit? On fire?
I mean, if he just calls, he's got outs. 7 of them. It's
Could
pretty
just
good.
call. I think if he just calls, it's going to look like he's got an ace. Maybe his opponent, if he had a draw, would just shut down. It's a reasonable play, too. Jamming's reasonable. Folding is now obviously reasonable. I think this is just all around tough spot. Use that time bank.
Yeah.
Calls.
Makes the call. The 5 of clubs on the river is no bueno. Now, could Gravy Boat turn his hand into a bluff?
I don't think he's looking to do that. I actually think he's like, well, if he jams here, I'll probably fold my hand because the clubs that get there. Can Addamo still value shove this river? I think he can. I'm just thinking if my opponent had 2 pair plus, he would have just jammed a turn. I think that's just no question given the stack sizes.
No matter
He's
what happens
wondering-
on this river, it's been a painful hand already for Gravy Boat, who loses more than 50% of his chips.
Almost thinking, does this club complete his opponent? I think the answer is it can. You know, like a king 10 of clubs, like a king queen of clubs. I think these hands could play this way. But what hands does he jam that might call? Ace queen, obviously, ace 10. And then you got to ask, what these hands call? He thinks so. He jams it all in. Just always going for that value. Gravybo's like, I flatted ace 9 suited too, right? He's like, how do I lose 700K?
It's honestly pretty sick that Addamo still finds this bet on the river. I think there are so many people who just check and be like, if I win it, awesome, and let's not lose any more because my opponent did get there or did flop something really good. It's actually a pretty insane shove on the river.
Yeah, no, he's just good all-around hand reader. You got to be if you're a big bluffer. Ace 9 though, he's not out yet. He's just trying to break this hand down. What does he beat? I guess like the queen 10 is the big one, I think. Man, but the thing is, Addamo has hands like 7-9 suited here. You know, 7-9 of hearts is just blasting away. Folds correctly.
Yeah, folds correctly, but does lose more than 50% of his stack, so it did hurt. And the following hands, the blinds do go up. 25K, 50K now. As Haxton has ace 9 offsuit under the gun. Brutal for Gravy, but on the flop, you have that backdoor as well with the hearts. On the turn, you pick up the gut shot, and you still have top pair. Could be good. Brutal hand.
I mean, look, at least he's fighting back against the guy, right? Like, that's the guy you want to put money down on.
Yeah, no. I mean, I will not regret my bet because I know that Graveboat is good. It's just, you need to get a little fortunate as well. Did not get fortunate there. It's not over yet, but he's now down to 13 big blinds, and that's obviously not a whole lot. Addamo opens jacks. Isaac Haxton has queen 9 offsuit on the big blind and folds.
He's just like, he's scared of Addamo himself, man. This guy will make you shake in your boots.
I'm actually a bit surprised to see that because it was a min open too.
I mean, I think Isaac Haxton, because the thing is, sometimes you see like 40 big blind stacks, right? And you're like, well, if I call the big blind, there's no way I'm gonna get all in by the river unless it's like some ultimate cooler so you can just defend pretty wide. When you're playing against Addamo, though, your stack is always at risk. It doesn't matter how many big blinds you got. So
jacks and ace queen and tens. What? And fives.
Oh man, don't show me those pocket fives. I think Ponikov's dead, 100%. 110 was just folded just now too. Like, he's gonna reshove this hand. GG.
But what? Like, Isaac Haxton obviously knows that Ponikov's is very good. So if Ponikov's has like a decent hand, there's a good chance he's gonna punish Addamo, who has now opened 4 hands in a row: the ace king, the jacks, the queen 8, and jacks again. We know what the hands were; they don't. But at this point, I think Haxton will also know that Ponikov's is willing, like this. Wow, Haxton snap folds ace queen.
He's just so solid though. That's the thing. Like, he knows it's possible. Wow, this is bad.
Yep, so bad. Alex Ponikovs has 1 out because one of the 10s got folded. Actually makes an open ender. Needs a jack 6 or the last 10. Can we find a Jack 6 or the last 10?
Oh my God,
No.
is that a? Oh, I thought it was a 6 potentially. Whew, close.
It could have been. Brutal for Ponikovs. Wakes up with the tens. Decides to jam on Addamo, who opens each and every single run. He gets kings now. And jacks and ace king. What the hell is this?
Oh
Oh my.
my!
It's
This
happening
is
again?
this is steamroll final table. Look how many aces are dead.
Yeah, I
2
know.
are gone. 1 jack dead. He's up against 2 outs.
No, this is insane. Like this is a slam dunk all in normally for a gravy boat. You don't fold ace king here. He's the shortest stack or the second shortest stack. No, he's the shortest actually. It's a
This is a
dream.
you gotta go with it, right? Like unless you, yep. Oh my God.
And Auntie Ninja fold.
Can Auntie Ninja fold? Actually, very interesting. I think the answer could be yes, because Gravy Boat will be forced all in, and then Addamo would have a strong hand to still go with his hand against Gravy Boat with all this action. Don't know what the answer is. But I can definitely see it being a fold, but I can definitely see this being a call as well.
Look at Addamo pretending he's got a decision. Decides to go for the all-in, and this is honestly a 6 spot for Auntie Ninja. Oh, I know that we've been critical of some people that folded jacks.
Wow. Almost
That's
had
sick.
like, and she didn't reshove pre-flop too with the 22 bigs. Sick. But I think it's the right fold.
Gravy Boat has one out. I believe it's the ace of spades. That is the only ace that is there. If we don't find the ace of spades on the river, could be. No. Ace of spades? No. It's a deuce, and that is the end of Gravy Boat. And Roddy's pick of the week went up in flames. All right. Well, I went out on a limb, guys. I tried to be cool. I tried to be a hipster, and it didn't work out. Unfortunate for Gravy Boat.
You try to anti-Addamo.
Hey, this could be an all-in and a call too. Oh my god.
Oh, for sure. Like, we're steamrolling the final table again, and Yuri's just gonna win it again, or what?
Oh, we have 2 diamonds. Diamonds are live. We need a diamond or a jack on the river, or we will say goodbye to Bert Stevens. Is that it? Oh my god. Oh, Michael Addamo has just knocked out 3 players in the last 3 hands. We had a full table, and now we're down to 6.
We've seen this in season 1. Addamo massive chip lead, crushes everyone in 1 hour, and then Yuri wins it. If I were you right now, if you could still do final table, I'd put my whole bankroll on Yuri, right? Like, because this guy's gonna win it.
No, I don't think he's gonna win it. Like, I actually think that at first it wasn't looking all that hot for Addamo because he got punished already in the first 2 hands, lost a couple chippies. But then I think it's the hand against Gravy Boat that has turned everything around. The ace king versus the ace 9. And then just it felt like everything went his way. This is an interesting spot. Let's see what Francisco is made of.
Yeah. I don't think he's looking to fold this at any point, to be honest. Like, everyone who plays this knows how crazy aggressive he is. But Addamo, can he slow down? Because he's got different gears. No, he doesn't really have different gears. It's more like It's more like I don't think he's gonna fold, so I'm just gonna let it go. But if he bets his turn, he's obviously gonna ship the river.
Mate, what do you think all these players are gonna think when they look back at their hands? Wow, Addamo just makes a pretty big bet here. Bet real small on the flop, bets big on the turn. Let's see what Francisco decides to do with his a7.
I think he's gonna call here for sure. I don't think it's close. Bad river card though for the a7, because we do know his opponent would bet like 2 hearts, obviously. If he can value bet ace king, he can value bet. Like, can he shove here? It'd be tough. He's sick.
Addamo has 8 high.
No connection.
Oh
wow.
My God. Wow, snap call though. Snap call. Francisco says, all right, Addamo, it's enough, mate. It is enough. I'm not just going to sit here and fold my ace on the big blind against your button open. Good call, man. With a7 there, I don't think it's that easy, but Francisco made it look real easy.
For him, like, he was just saying, look, if you got me beat, you got me beat. Like, he snap called so fast.
Yeah.
Like, they play with this guy so much. They just know.
Final tables with Michael Addamo really are something different, aren't they? As
Yeah, they're the
Haxton
best.
decides to defend his big blind with pocket sixes, Addamo has queen high. You can't fold sixes here, right? That'd be criminal.
No, man. Especially if you see a guy just punt off with 8-6 offsuit. Like this is what you're talking about, right? Like this guy, he can he he could toss some chips away. It looked like he kind of tossed a million chips there in that last hand. He could have just bet that flop and gave up later.
Yeah, but he already gained 4 million in the first 30 minutes of poker. So then I'm okay with tossing away a million chips. Like if we went from 4.2 to 3.2, I'd be really concerned if I had money on Michael Adamo. But goes check on the turn. I don't think Haxton loves that river card, but I still think we just have to check call, right?
Man. Well, he's definitely gonna check and just hope for a check back, but he might. Like all these guys knows what he's up to. Seriously. He's
Actually
gonna
goes for a very tiny
yeah, is
block
this
bet.
like a block bet? Value block bet. It's I'm almost thinking like okay. But the thing is Haxton's smart, so he's like if I raise here, it just looks like I'm trying to move him off his hand. Nice.
Man, that went so fast. We're now down to 6. We had a full table. The entire night was ahead of us. And we just lost 3 really strong players too. Alex Ponakov's Gravy Boat and Bert Stevens.
You
Yeah.
didn't toss any final monies on it. Oh, you did. Judd Trump. Well, hey, he's still in it. All the other guys have gone.
Yeah. Those 3 are gone. Uh-oh. Pocket 3s and pocket 10s. That's one of the 3s just got folded, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna. Sometimes the button just jams here, but Judd Trump's sitting on a little bit more chips. If Judd Trump had like a million, I can see that. Oh, yeah. Well, he is gonna raise.
Hey, that hand where Haxton snap folded ace queen. Would ace queen have won against the Jackson 10s?
No. You mean they?
Right.
I don't think so.
It was the hand where Addamo beat. Oh, we've got ace. Never mind. Ignore all of that. Let's talk about this one. As Auntie Ninja has ace queen offsuit. Already folded jacks correctly before against the kings of Michael Addamo. Let's see what we do this time.
Yeah, it's tough, man. She's getting, or she or he is getting some tough spots, right? Ace, queen, jack. The jacks is a brilliant fold, seriously.
I love how serious you take the auntie part of the name. Wow, we do get a call. So it's ace, queen, and kings. Let's see if the kings can hold. So far they can. That's a beautiful flop. Oh my goodness.
The ace.
The ace of hearts. Judd Trump down to 2 outs. That's not a king on the river. Auntie Ninja gets the full double. Out of nowhere, it felt like, right? Because that was not a good flop at all, but ace on the turn. You know, I love how serious you take the auntie part, while the last part of the name is literally ninja, and you just immediately assume that we're actually dealing with an auntie here. I mean, it's possible, but
it's definitely possible, right? It's not okay. It's not grandma ninja. That's completely different. It's auntie ninja. You know, you don't have to be
that
old
sounds real serious.
to be an auntie.
Seen a whole bunch of movies. Judd Trump just all in the 3s and took it down. Now we can all in 10s. Then big blinds and Addamo might call with ace 9.
Yeah, he definitely might. He might be like, this guy's on tilt. Just jam last hand. Folds correctly. Nice. Discipline there.
Yeah, actually a good fold. Not the Man CB powerhouse, but a slightly weaker version of it. Judd Trump decides not to all in 3 hands in a row. Addamo is going to raise the jack 8. Haxton with a7. That's the hand where Francisco got a full double against Michael Addamo.
You think he's thinking the same thing? Like, okay, all I gotta do is flop an ace and just call down, and I'm good.
Well, I think Haxton also knows that an ace is often the best hand on the 9-4-9 board against chip leader Michael Addamo opening from the cutoff.
Yeah, I think he's got a call here. Plus, when he check calls a flop, like, he's got a 9 sometimes. So Addamo can't just bet jam any board.
We say that, but then it's Addamo, who does make an 8 on the turn. So Addamo now takes the lead.
Yeah. I think he probably bets again, right? Like,
Yep.
I don't know. He checks. Okay. I feel like he was going to go for a river value, though, if the opportunity arises.
Now that it goes check, check, Haxton might think that his ace high is still the best hand.
Yeah. Well, Haxton goes for the little check, of course. Can to 8 bet. I think he's going to try to value bet against an ace here. Or like a 4. Unless he really thinks he's getting slow played, which is possible, but I don't know. I just don't see him not betting. Big bet.
Yep. Kind of annoying for Haxton. But it's also like there is a chance that Addamo does have an ace too. And it's just that his ace is slightly better than the ace of Haxton. But there's also a world where Addamo does this with the king high and the queen's high. And the jack highs even.
Yeah. Haxton's like, okay. Makes the
Oh.
call. Saw the ace-7 was good for the Francisco.
Yep.
Nice value bet for Addamo. This is why he comes to Final Tails with big chip leads. He's got big bets and thin value bets.
Really smart check on the turn. Because if he does bet the turn, then I don't think he can get paid off for that much on the river, or would have won that amount of chips anyway. So Addamo winning the maximum amount of chips. Haxton losing his first proper pot of the evening. And the rich just get richer. Man, who could have ever thought it was going to be Michael Addamo and Auntie Ninja battling it out tonight?
I think it's an auntie. I'm still going with that.
It's possible. Haxton now has Queen Jack as Addamo opens up Ace Jack offsuit under the gun. What I also noticed is that our entire call is a lot clearer for us. I feel like they upgraded the program with something, or the bandwidth. I
So
don't know, like,
I was gonna say they're in it with the Zoom. They're like, upgrade us in our calls.
no, because all the numbers are so clear. Because before I remember it's like, how much money is that? Like, what's the payout? And now everything is clear as day. So I'm like,
Yeah, true.
Hey, I actually would like it if Yuri would jam here. I know it's a bit excessive.
No, honestly, he's
jam.
gonna limp. He's gonna limp jam. I like that play a lot better too.
Okay.
I just jams.
Addamo has an ace, but does not take the bait. That's actually pretty good timing by Addamo too, because I feel like there are moments where he does call off with almost any ace.
Yeah, I still think he should have limp jammed that hand because Addamo's gonna. He would have jammed if he got limped on, I think, and he would have just
I
lost.
Think you're right.
800K.
Yeah, but that's hindsight.
I think Yuri was thinking, look, there's a guy with 10 big blinds out there. Do I really want to just get it in? Wow, Jack 3 offsuit, pure garbage.
4x.
No respect. Yeah, it's a big one.
Yep. Auntie Ninja makes the call and Addamo flops top pair, because why the hell not?
It's Jack 3 offsuit.
Damn. Wait, that's illegal.
It's gangsta. Checks. He's tricky because he doesn't auto fire all his hands. I think he knows he's like got such a wide range that he needs to be a little bit balanced in spots. That's bad. That's get some value somewhere.
Yep. Addamo also has the 3 of hearts. So Auntie Ninja, his ace of hearts is no longer good. Or her. Or both.
Okay. Checks again. Auntie bet. The ace 9. It's tempting. Well, the 3 of hearts doesn't look that nice, but it's still the best hand.
I mean, when there are 4 hearts on the board, Nanonoko, how likely is it that your opponent has a heart too?
Yeah, I know. It's just, you're not usually looking to get bets in with the 3 of hearts. I think it's better usually to just try and pick off a bluff. Wow, a 300K value bet with the 3 of hearts. Next level or what, Roddy? Like, this is one hell of a merge if I've ever seen one.
I'm not even sure what this is. I'll be totally real.
Wow, this is...
What do you think that Addamo thinks that Auntie Ninja has here? Because Auntie Ninja did defend the big blind 4x, so 200K pre-flop.
I have no idea, Roddy. I guess like a king queen or something with no heart. Like this is such a crazy value bet. Obviously thin. I think he gets value on there a lot too by like something. I don't know. Next level. A7. That's the hand of the night. It's out. King 10.
King 10. Definitely going to raise it up.
Two deuces. It's out.
You know, yesterday I logged into GGPoker and they did something new and I was very confused. They turned it into like a story game. Where it's like, hi, just where you're in Vegas. It was the wildest night of your life. And then like a little Elkie shows up and has like a conversation and you get like a little tutorial and you have to like pick which hand beats which hand. And then it's like, oh, you're moving on. Oh, here's Daniel Negreanu at the final. It's like, it was like, it's like you joined the platform and you have like a little mini game. I was really confused, but I did play it. I'm like, yeah, sure, why not?
So how did you perform? Did you at least do okay?
I got everything right besides one where I should have called with King Jack when Daniel Negreanu all in me, and I didn't want to call off with King Jack, but I should have. So I had to start my wildest night in Vegas all over again. It's really random, mate. Anyway, Francisco has aces on the button. Poor Yuri has not opened a whole lot of hands yet tonight. Decides to get a little feisty with King 9 of diamonds, and he will be disgusted.
I'm like, have you ever been all in against Dan Negreanu before? Apparently everyone has though. The same hand probably.
King 10, Queen 10.
Mm-hmm. See, these are all like marginal hands for everyone, and everyone's just gonna fold. But pocket threes might give a little action.
It's so wild as well for the other five to be on a final table like this, because we all know that the pay jumps get real big, of course, top 4, top 3, top 2. So it's so tempting to just like, you know what? I'll sit back and I'll let Michael Addamo win it. If I can lock up a second place tonight, I'll be more than satisfied.
It's funny because it's very rare. It's not too often where you're just like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to let them win it. But maybe this is one of those scenarios where you can consider it because, like, you know, that's what Yuri did that one season. One episode he won, right? Like, he pretty much like, you can win it, and he accidentally won it.
So next payout is 94K, as you guys can see on the left side on the Nano Scam, and of course at the top side of the table too. Second place though, over $250,000. Yeah, let the demo win it. Look at Yuri, by the way. Defense is big blind with pocket threes. Jack 6. He's like, you know what, the demo, I don't think you really have anything here. And he goes for the check raise.
Yeah, I think this is I don't want to get, wow, gets called. The 3. Wow, man, I think if he did not hit that 3, he probably loses his pot at some point. But I think you check now with the 3, right? Like, because if your opponent had a jack, well, he's gonna pay you off anyways.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel like anything other than a check here would be very silly. Or a min bet. He actually goes for 2.5 big blinds.
Yeah, but still, like, I would have checked. I think with my stack size is so tiny, I'll go for a check. If I obviously had more chips, I'd be more likely to bet. But you only got 500K. Feels like.
Do you think the King 10 would have won? Either a King 10 or counterfeited?
Or like some kind of bluff on like, because when you get bet called on that flop with 2 3s, you're not feeling pretty good anymore.
This could be an all-in and a call.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, for sure. Here we go. Judge Trump. Next one. Next depth seat.
King 10. Oh, well, flush draw. Ace or a spade for Addamo. Judd Trump needs to avoid the aces and the spades. That is not an ace and it's not a spade either. So Judd Trump does get the double. Still short, of course. 14 big blinds, almost 15. But hey, we're back. Actually, it's more than that. It's 16. I can't count. I'm Nanonoko. Damn it.
If you're gonna fall apart, you want to fall apart against the 400K all-ins, you know.
Yuri with King Queen on the button. Probably just open, fold, fold. Even though 9 deuce was the hand of the pre-show, everyone making moves with 9 deuce. Alex Ponakov, Michael Addamo.
Yeah, he's just gonna rip it in. Hope for the best.
This has been quite a night. King, Queen, suited, Ace, Jack offsuit, open and a jam by Judd Trump.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, does a king queen have to go for it if against a reshove? I don't know, man. Because when you're suited, you're like, oh man, a king queen offsuit would definitely fold.
Yeah. Oh
Wow,
wow.
ace jack just open. I don't know about that.
I mean,
Um,
Haxton hasn't been opening a whole lot of hands yet tonight.
yeah, but we're playing six-handed.
I know.
You're the shortest. It's a little tight, a little too tight for my liking.
Damo's gonna open ace 10. Francisco not on the big blind, so he's gonna let go of his ace 8 offsuit. Haxton, one big blind for 6-4. Let's it go.
Yeah, Haxton's not looking to play against Addamo today. He's
Nah,
gonna
with
wait
that
for
ace,
everyone else to bust out first.
yeah, that ace 7 hand, that one's got to sting a little bit. Sick check on the turn. I mean, Addamo has honestly done a couple of amazing things already tonight. Of course, he was running hot for a split second, where he got like jacks, kings, and ace king or whatever it was. But the ace king shove on the river, I honestly thought was kind of insane, even though he did not get called. And then the way that he played his jack 8, where he checked on the turn when he made his pair of eights, I thought it was pretty well done too.
Look at this 3-bet. This is a great 3-bet with the king queen.
Yeah. Auntie Ninja ain't afraid of Michael Addamo. That's something we've seen throughout the night so far.
Yeah, the ante playing good. Like I still love that pocket jacks fold earlier.
Yeah.
Jam by
Wow.
ace 4 offsuit. What? This hand is garbage. Hot
I actually
garbage.
felt it was coming. I felt it was coming because this is not the first time that Auntie Ninja has played back on Michael Addamo. And I think Addamo was like, all right, I see what's happening. The first time, the second time, I'll respect it. Eventually, I'm like, hey, you don't take my openings very serious at all. So now I'm just going to start jamming on your little 3-bets. Addamo is honestly playing really good. Like, really
Yeah,
good.
like that is a sick bet. Like, because short stacks they don't always play back at the chip stack like that, right? Unless they're just jamming it themselves. It's just sick.
Nines and ace 10.
Yeah. Well, Yuri does play a little conservative in some spots, so I'm not sure if he's going to go for it.
Francisco has not played that many hands yet where he opened. And Yuri takes that into consideration and does fold. Addamo, though, with his suited king, chip leader, he's probably going to toss in that one big blind and see what the flop brings.
There we
He
go.
does call indeed. Ace 5-5, one diamond. Not a whole lot there for Michael Addamo. All the back doors are there, but I think that on this kind of a flop, we can actually give up.
Let's check. I mean, you can't win every pot. This would be weird to try to steal.
Yeah.
Especially when this is against the guy who called you down with A7 with everything got there and we just didn't even think about it.
Nope. An 0.1 second snap call on the river. I just felt that Francisco, that hand said, all right, I'm going to defend. And if I flop an ace, I'm sticking with my ace no matter what happens. And it was the
Yeah,
correct approach.
that's what you got to do. You got to throw out the big pay jumps out the window sometimes against Addamo and just be like, if you got me this time, but I'm going to get you eventually. One of these final tables.
You know what I haven't heard in a long time, Nanonoko, is your baby. Is the baby still all right?
Yeah, the baby's all right, but I moved the room so they don't come and bother me during this lovely stream. So yeah, no, baby's good. Oh,
We'll
who cares
we'll
about
talk
that?
more about your baby
Jax.
soon. Jax and Ace King.
Wow. And it's against the stacks that are going to clash. We're going to combine one of them.
Just pre-flop all in, right?
No, this is a Roddy can play both sides kind of hand. There we go.
Well, Auntie Ninja jams. Yuri obviously has to call here with the Jackson. Does call. Well, it's a good old flip. I don't think a lot of aces and kings have been folded, but so far the jacks are good. Ooh, we pick up the heart draw too. So any ace king or a heart for Auntie Ninja. But Yuri holds. Wow, what a hold for the jacks.
Yeah.
Or it's a 7. If it's 7, they chop. Oh, that would have been sick. That has happened to me a couple times. I'm like, I need to avoid aces, kings, and hearts. I'm like, yes. And then you realize that you actually chop because there's a straight on the board.
Yeah, and that's obviously the worst. Yeah. Telling you, man, Yuri's going to be the guy who wins this tournament today.
That's a sick hold, actually. Yuri's now in second in chips.
Yeah, sick. Can't believe this guy's going to scoop this tournament. The sneaker, the sleeper hit. Here we go. Queen 7
Addamo.
flat calling. That is one hell of a flat call, okay? Because the guy's opening 12 big blinds. Flat calls Queen 7 suited on the button. Like he's never seen Queen 7 suited before.
One big blind bet by Judd Trump is going to be good enough to take it down. Sometimes I do feel whenever we watch a demo that he just wants to get it over with. Like he looks around the table, he's like, all right, nobody has anything. Guys, let's wrap it up. Okay, I don't really care what place you guys finish, but I just want to get.
Yeah, I know. I definitely know what you're saying. Because like sometimes you feel like he could slow down a little bit and he just like cruises Wade. No, he just always goes for it. 9-4 suited.
We've got Ace Jack for Francisco.
Yeah. Just wondering if he can just ship this in.
It's a lot, mate.
Yeah, it's a lot. 30 something bigs. I think he knows it's the best hand, but like it's still a lot just in case. The guy does wake up with hands, right? Calls.
Ace Jack is good, even if it didn't make a pair. Addamo doesn't have a whole lot to work with other than a couple backdoors. That is an amazing turn card for Michael Addamo.
Maybe a little side pot. How much side pot we got here? It's not much, right?
That's 41K.
Yeah. So I think you just check unless you think that 40K is worth it. How?
Oh my god. It's Broadway against.
What? This is a pot that should be worth nothing, right? Because it's a side pot. He does check though. I like to check.
Yeah, because he's trapping. Oh my god.
You think he goes for it?
Addamo is gonna go quite big, and then I think Francisco might even raise.
Depends on how big.
Yeah, exactly. If it's like 600K, then maybe Francisco just calls.
Maybe Francisco, even though he thinks he's got the best hand a lot,
he's gonna raise, mate. You have to raise this.
Yeah, right. Half pot too. Like you think
what?
He just calls.
Hey, that's insane. That is insane. He's got the Jack of Diamonds too.
Yeah, I think it's just the guarantee pay jump point of view. Because if Auntie Ninja was in the hand, all the chips are gone. 100%.
Really? You think that mattered that much?
It does. Occasionally, like, I mean,
I'm stunned there.
Yeah. Addamo didn't think his opponent had that big of a hand. He would have went for more, obviously. He just thought his opponent had like a random queen or king and, just went for whatever that would call with.
That's a stunning hand. Checks Broadway on the river and then just calls a bet of less than 4 big blinds.
Yeah, that's sick. Judd Trump. Can he defend his hand?
He can't if he sits out. Mate, I'm insane. How did Francisco not lose more chips there? He's got kings, by the way, this time. Yuri's got threes.
Yeah, no, I don't know, man. It's really sick, honestly.
By the way, I think we've both been wrong. It's pocket threes that always make a set at our final table this season. This happens so much more often than fours and fives.
Yeah, I know, but you gave me the chance to pick. That's what tilts me the most.
Well, Yuri, the threes were very good to him earlier. Makes the call. Does not flop a set. But last time he didn't flop a set either, but he did turn the set.
You might still call a flop bet, though. I mean, threes are often good here, especially for third pot. You got a little backdoor, extra equity.
A 4 or a 3 on the turn is what you're looking for.
Yeah. I think you got the best hand. Beat some jack tens, ace highs. Pretty dry board.
Last time he raised, he checked raise, but that was obviously a very different board. Well, he doesn't get the 3, but he does get the 4. So his hand now turns into an open ender. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, that's kind of, what's annoying is like you call up the hands because you know he leads on a flop, but he leads so small. I think that's going to invite to raise.
Yeah. I mean, if you raise here with kings, what do you do if your opponent then jams on you?
Depends on how much you raise it to. Why don't you raise it to amount you can't fold, like all of it? But yeah, no, I hear you.
Just makes the call. The jack is safe. Kings are still good. What does Yuri do? I actually think Yuri is just going to check. I think Yuri is like, you know what? Your trump is short. Addamo is wild. He's going to knock some of these guys out. I don't need to go broke in this end.
I don't think he'll go broke, but I think he might fire. The thing is, when you bet like 100K on into 500K, there's a lot of hands that'll fold now the river, like 6-7, you know, 8-6. These hands have to call the turn because it's so tiny. Pocket eights. I feel like he's gonna give up. I mean, it wouldn't have worked, but I could definitely see a bet being reasonable.
I think he was thinking about it, but I kind of felt that the check was coming. I think Yuri just looks around the table and he's like, all right, I've got over 30 big blinds now. You don't need to win every hand.
He doesn't like to do some crazy plays when there's like guys should be busting out soon.
Mm-hmm. And maybe once in a very, very blue moon, he still has the best hand.
Yeah, the kings is kind of like...
I don't hate it that Francisco doesn't bet there on the river. Like, I think Addamo would have... Wow. Mate, final tables with Addamo go so quick. I completely lose track of time. I don't even look at the clock because you just know that something crazy could happen at any moment. Anyway, guys, that was it for our first hour of the High Roller Super Millions Week 6, Season 2. We are down 2-5. That's not something we normally say. We're going to go ahead and take a very quick break. And in 4 minutes and 30 seconds, we'll be back with potentially the last hour because Michael Addamo is the chip leader and he likes knocking people out. We'll see you soon.
Brent, what do you say? Let's run it back this year. The $1,500 Millionaire Maker, the $5 million guarantee prize pool. And we're guaranteeing what up top?
Well, let me check my... $1 million, Jeff. It's the Millie Maker. $1 million.
It is the Millionaire Maker. Day one's in the lobby right now. Day two on August 8th.
Hello, everybody. Daniel Granu here with some good news from the GGPoker Network. We've been preparing a promotion for the new year called GG Care. As any poker player might know, sometimes you find yourself in what we call unfortunate situations, you know, some ugly bad beats, right? Well, that's where GG Care comes in. GG Care will take care of you with huge prize pools available every day. Let's see how you can get your GG Care benefits. Aces versus kings. Yep, all in before the flop. I mean, nobody's going to fold that, right? That's just a setup. It's a cooler. I can't imagine being, you know, at the final table of the World Series of Poker heads up and this happening to me. It's just brutal. Bad beats should never be a thing, but they are. Thanks, GG. I flopped the top set. Very nice. Some fucking idiot chases a runner straight to suck out on me. Unbelievable. But in my darkest moment, GG Care was there. Thanks, GG. Flop the second nut set, the middle set on the flop. It's an impossible cooler. How can you be beat there? The guy has top set. Nobody's folding that. Sometimes it just feels unfair. Thanks, GG. As you can see, in the most unfortunate of situations, GG Care will appear for you. Are you curious how to get these benefits? Don't worry, you don't even have to lift a finger. First, simply enjoy the game as usual. Whenever something unfortunate happens, GG Care will be there. Secondly, when confronted with such circumstances, GG Care automatically will register you into a flip-out tournament with a huge prize. Just check the pop-up window. Thirdly, take a rest, have yourself a nap, get yourself a good night's sleep, clear your mind of all the bad beats, and when you wake up, the daily GG Care prizes will be waiting for you. That's all there is to GG Care. Pretty simple, isn't it? Just play the game as normal and GG Care will take care of you. And the prize money will only grow more and more in the future, so keep your eyes posted and good luck, everybody. I hope you don't have too many bad beats, but if you do, GG Care will be there. Thanks, GG.
Elke was waiting to come back to the final table.
Fade or hold stings. Oh my god.
Michael Addamo is the best.
Welcome back to episode 6 of season 2 of the High Roller Super Millions, where we actually have some hands here. Pocket eights and ace queen. Second hour, we're down to 5, all because of Michael Addamo, who did run a little hot at one point. He's got a couple of good hands, and obviously Michael Addamo pretty much always gets paid off because of his crazy image. It's a new and improved High Roller Super Millions, Nananoka. We've got new graphics behind the scenes. We're also working on 1 or 2 little upgrades for you and me. It makes me excited for the future.
Yeah, it looks like infinitely better, really. And the action, infinitely better. Like today is just so good so far. Ace, queen. Can 2 8s call here?
It's risky. I'll admit that I would fold, but Haxton is very good, and he may just think that he's got that tiny edge here, and he is a little bit ahead, not by a whole lot. It's a really hard call, though, especially with Judd Trump being so short.
Yeah. He's just wondering how often he's up against like a little pair, how much obviously a bigger one.
What would you do? I would fold.
I think against Yuri, I'd fold because he's quite solid. He doesn't get like too crazy. I think he will occasionally, but like I think against that opponent seems okay.
Addamo has a small blind. This is where things get interesting. Anything is possible.
I mean, Francisco might be one of his toughest opponents here, right? Like he's the guy who's willing to make big call downs.
Yeah, but 30 big blinds with King 10 offsuit, it's almost impossible, right? You can do that. He would have gotten it in absolutely amazing. Would have been dominating King 10 against 10-9, but Addamo is still sick.
He puts on all the pressure. Even like those other guys, they have this situation home. They just cruise, right? Like they just raise a lot, they grind. Addamo just tries to finish it in 2 hours.
Min opens his kings. Francisco actually has a decent hand here, Queen 9 of spades. Normally you think like that's probably quite good against everything that Addamo is opening.
I mean, to be fair, it's dominating a lot of hands usually.
And now Addamo. I wonder, because like if he jams, he might be losing out on value, and he knows that too, because kings are so good that you kind of want to play your kings. I actually really wonder what Addamo does. I think he might raise again, but very small. Like to 600 something.
No, because he knows he's got like such a bad image. Yeah, they're playing so deep, but he's tricky too. Obviously, standards to 4-bet. He is going to 4-bet real small.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. I was like 4-bet to 610, 620, 648. It is. It seems like Francisco is currently reconnecting. Hopefully he'll be back. Okay, he is back.
So, Don was saying, please reconnect and have your queens get busted.
Don't do that now. Francisco lets it go. He's going to give Addamo some respect. And this time, it was justified as Addamo now has over 9 million chips. I think it goes without saying, for quite some time already, that Michael Addamo has more chips than the rest of the table combined. Even Nanonoko can make that calculation.
I mean, remember the earlier we're like, man, we need to see some Michael Addamo here in season 2 or something, right? It's been a little while. Man, when he gets here, he's just fireworks every single. Like, is there ever a calm final table for him? That's what I'm wondering.
Well, there was definitely once or twice in around like week 30 where he came in with a relatively small stack and he just didn't do a whole lot. But if you give him
one time he
chips,
came in with a tiny stack, doubled up immediately, and doubled up again. He was like Shipley, and all of a sudden just winning the tournament. But yeah, man, such a sicko. So fun to watch.
if Addamo does win it today, he will be the very first person to win a High Roller Super Millions in Season 1 and Season 2. And on top of that, he's still the only player who has won the High Roller Super Millions 3 times. So he would be winning it 4 times before anyone else has won it 3 times.
I would say that's literally impossible, but no, it's not. It's very possible. He's got 8-6, open-ended. No, I'm not going to say it. I was going to say it's your birthday, but it's not. It's not quite.
It's not Nanonaka. I do want to let you guys know that the Millionaire Maker is currently running. We have a lot of day one still going, and I believe that the final day of the Millionaire Maker is actually coming up this weekend. It's obviously a $1,500 tournament where, well, the prize pool is insane. I think it's a 5 million guaranteed, as Addamo is going to jam ace-3 from the small blind because he is Michael Addamo. Yeah, you guys can still qualify for that final stage on Sunday. I have not tried, but maybe
it's a big tournament. Like, it pays a ton. First, obviously.
Ooh, Haxton with 8s here on the button. This time Haxton does make the call, and it's somewhat similar to before where he folded. He needs to avoid jacks and 10s, jacks, 10s, and queens. Oh, he needs to... Oh, my God.
He needs a straight.
Yep.
He needs a 7, a queen.
Nope, that's an ace. Haxton with the full double, so he gets back to 2.5 million chips. I actually think that's more chips than Isaac Haxton has had all night long. Whew, big hold. Big hold.
That's a huge hold there. That's the thing. Like, Addamo, he just goes for it, even though they got a lot of chips. Rather than most people, they just raise, they jam, they fold. You know, very different game. Seriously, just tries to end it so fast.
He still has more chips than the rest of the table combined, even after doubling up Isaac Haxton.
Yeah.
Haxton could just jam here, right?
Yeah, that's a no question. He's just trying to. Oh, he went for like the value raise, which is so funny, right? Because you never really see that the king highs.
If Addamo opens here, Judd Trump can obviously jam his ace-10. He is playing less than 10 big blinds. That's the easiest jam of his life. Addamo's probably gonna have to let this one go.
Unless he just hates people from China and just like spike calling them base 4 offsuit. But like, price is good, but your hand.
Wow.
Oh my God. Okay. He's just redemption he wants. Wow.
No 4 yet. Michael Addamo needs a 4 and a 4 only. Or he will also double up Judd Trump. That's not a 4. So Judd Trump gets another double, and he gets up to close to 20 big blinds now, which is actually quite decent. Does Michael Addamo still have more chips than the rest of the table combined than Nanonoko?
Man, Addamo just got so much gambling. I don't know if gamble's not the right word, but like he does not care about variance. I'll tell you that. That was a big. It seems like a loose call to me. But Judd Trump, your final bet. He got a little double. That's live.
He now has kings. Addamo has queen 3 of diamonds in the small blind. Normally this is a fold, but with Michael Addamo, I wouldn't be surprised if he just jams because he's really upset.
Or 3 bets. He makes it like 400K just thinking this guy can't do anything. Yeah, my God. What is he doing? What is he doing?
The wheels are coming off. That's what in 9 minutes he has just lost over 2 million chips.
Like, Judd Trump can't believe this. He's getting action. He's wondering is there a world where he can just call, but he's probably just going to jam.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't fault him for it. If Addamo does have a decent hand, he's willing to call off. If he calls off with ace-4, he's going to call off a lot of hands after he 3-bets you. So Judd Trump now gets up to close to 30 big blinds. Not quite there yet. He gets ace-7 of diamonds under the gun. We have Francisco sitting at ace-jack. Now, after that hand, I actually believe that the other 4 players have more chips than Michael Addamo. But it's close. But I think they do.
Let's see, Francisco ace-jack. A hand worthy of a jam.
Wow. First hour went a whole lot better than the second hour so far for Addamo.
Still has a lot of chips, obviously. Queen
This
8.
is where I do wonder, like, where do we say, all right, actually, it's not working out now? Can we find that switch to just turn it down a notch?
I know, I'm not telling you to turn it off, right? Like, just turn it down a little bit. You can stay aggressive here, but like literally every hand. There's a point when
the queen 3 diamonds in the small blind and stuff. That's maybe where we want to flip that switch back a little bit.
Like, sure, maybe they're gonna fold sometimes, but like, you're just asking for pain right now.
Like, if you still want to make the occasional jam from the small blind with your 10-9 or jack-10, like, that's okay. Keep doing that. Ooh, 7s and aces.
Yeah. Oh, that's really bad positions too. But Haxton's gonna spice it up.
Yeah. Haxton is like, maybe I can win one. It's like, well, mate, if you only knew what was on your left.
He's like, well, Addamo didn't open. I'm gonna try to take a pot because I don't really take down too many pots. And he gets like resistance from both guys on the left.
Oh man, this is Yuri's sweet dream. Haxton opens, Judd Trump 3-bets, and he's got aces on the big blind. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, he's like, let me just get these in.
Like, all right, not too fast. He's like, honey, can you count down to 10? 10, 9, 8. It's like, all right. Judd Trump is like, really, mate?
Yeah. You gotta fold this, right?
Yeah.
It's just annoying because it's like Yuri's not the deepest.
But that looks real strong.
Yeah. And that's one of those like, please have ace king spots. Because even ace queens, they might just ditch it sometimes there too.
So after Judd Trump won a couple pots, he's forced to let a pretty big one go. Loses 7 big blinds. Haxton decides to open again, this time with a slightly better queen. And Addamo gives up on the 10-5. That shouldn't be any Niels, but it kind of is.
Kind of is. Like, we want to know what his folding range is, not what his calling range is, you know? King, queen. Beautiful. Should be some folds all around.
You know what's interesting as well is that Francisco was second in chips for quite some time. And now he's actually the shortest.
I mean, yeah, true. Everyone's not that short anymore ever since he started doubling our one up. What did he peak at? 8 or 9?
No, he was over 9 million, mate.
Over 9 million.
No, it's still a tournament. Like, at one point, it felt ridiculous. We're like, all right, lock it up. Give the man his trophy. But now, it is still a tournament. Because if he doubles up one of these guys with over 2 million chips, well, then they've got literally equal stacks. This is also a hand that looks like it's going to be very difficult for Michael Addamo to win as Haxton flops top pair.
Yeah, but the thing is, Addamo, you're thinking, oh, usually guys, when they do a one and done, but I mean, spade on the turn. Addamo picks up a straight draw with a spade out there without a spade, you know, like, just looking pretty good for him. He's like, this is multi-barrel opportunity.
If he drills a 3, that's not a spade on the river. I'm walking away for a split second, just so you know.
You hit an ace. But yeah. Think he's slowing down? He's heard your advice?
I mean, 3 million chips is a lot of chips to lose in 14 minutes of poker. So maybe at that point, you're like, all right. Let's see if anyone else can knock someone out.
As he knocked out everyone.
I think he
So
did because he
Haxton
knocked
doing
out
these
Gravy
block
Boat.
bets. If you notice, he always does a block bet against Addamo.
Yeah. He knocked out Gravy Boat when he had kings against Ace King. He knocked
Called
out
by
Connor
Ace
Cops.
High.
Wow.
Still falling apart.
Jacks against stands, and obviously he knocked out Bert Stevens too when Bert Stevens jammed Queen Jack suited against King Queen suited, I believe it was. I wonder what Haxton does here with his Jack 10 of hearts in the small blind.
I think flat. I don't know. You can really see it going a lot of ways. But A7's the one that's going for it. Does he ever stop? Does he ever? Like, your dad should watch the stream today. You'd be like, this guy is just tossing it away. He had an easy lockup, guaranteed top 2, trying to get 5th place. Old.
Yuri does let go of his King 10 of diamonds. It's actually really funny because you're joking about it, and now Addamo picks up queens, but the rest of the table doesn't have much. Haxton may think that it's Jack 9 on the button is playable, but he lets it go wisely. Like, if my dad would watch this, like, I'm not joking, he would definitely say that I don't think this Michael Addamo is a good poker player. Like, that's the kind of old man that my dad is. It's like, that doesn't make any sense. Like, he could have just folded. He's like, yeah, he could have, but that's not who he is.
Yeah, like, did you see him punt to that guy of A7? Like, hey man, I want to see your dad play against Addamo. Just see what, like, does he adjust or does he just keeps his game plan? Just like, let him bust everyone else. Let me get the top 2. Lock it in.
My dad would still just play his aces, kings, and queens and only continue with top pair. Haxton flops top pair. Addamo does have the kind of hand that I feel like he will continue with because he always believes a 5 is around the corner.
Yeah, but it's real hard for him to win a spot.
Yeah, but he will believe that a 5 is coming.
Yeah, we've seen it. He might even check raise. Like, he's like in this aggressive mode, right? Yeah.
Oh, mate.
Like, he might think it's like, oh, he's got achievements. He's got to, click like raise this many flops in one final table or something. Like, all sorts of funny stats he's got to keep up with. I mean, my God. There's a point when it's enough.
Like, I feel like Haxton would never consider raising here against anyone else, but against Addamo, I actually think a raise wouldn't be that bad here.
I still like calling. Hit the 4.
Well, Addamo turns his nothing into quite something now. Any 4, any 6, any 5.
Yeah, that, like, sometimes when you pick up that little bit of extra equity, you just start to just fire away now.
Well, I don't think this is a little bit, no. This is actually a lot.
A lot for his hand, surprisingly.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's a big bet.
I feel like this bet is almost so big that we're in all in or full territory. Because there's a lot of cards, obviously, on the river that are not going to be pleasant to look at.
Yeah, I don't think he would all in. I think he would still call and see what happens and decide. Because you're better off, in theory, like, wow, Hollywood has been respecting this guy way too much. No one else at the table respects Addamo, but Hollywood Haxton's like, his game plan is, I'm not playing against Addamo. Wow, sick. Because he literally put that guy on 2 pair plus there, right? Like, to fold that hand on that board. And
all in? Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, so Addamo does win a big one, and he's back over 7 million. That
seems undeserved, man. I mean, like, my God, how'd he get away with that? That seems criminal. But you're right. The big bet was like, it put that thing in his mind, was like, he's going to put me to test for all my chips on the river.
Yeah.
And he was like, I'm not going to call river shove, so I might as well get out now.
But that's why I think it's an all-in or fold on the turn, where it's like, all right. This could be a fun one, as Haxton picks up a 7-high flush draw. Addamo flops mid-pair. That's pretty insane, because I don't think any of the other guys would have folded there indeed. Haxton might also think that he still has an edge over the other 3, and $121,000 is nice, but second place is still $250K.
Yeah.
You don't get in these spots, even if you're as good as Haxton, you don't get into these spots every single day where there are 3 players between you and $130,000 extra. So
Yeah, no, Haxton's not stupid. Hits the flush, the dream. Good thing for Addamo, he actually has a pair here, so he might not blast away. But imagine he just had like the 7-9 or something. He'd just lose like so many chips. But here, good enough to check. Here we go.
Haxton has been making a lot of tiny bets on the river when he's got a marginal hand. Let's see what he does with an actual good hand.
Yeah, it feels like he should keep it consistent there, right? But I guess maybe it feels criminal to let a hand get away for a cheaper price.
Maybe he goes like 2-10, like 3 big blinds.
Yeah. He's thinking to himself, like, I have been betting like a 20% pot, but am I really going to let this guy? Yeah, he's going bigger. He's like, I can't. I just cannot.
This be a very weird call, I think, for Addamo to make.
Wow. And he's like, what'd you say, Roddy? I'm snap calling you, dude.
I mean, obviously
Yeah,
the man plays how he plays, and he's an absolute crusher and is sicko. One of the best performing players in our entire tournament series. But it is safe to say that he does make some reckless moves too, especially when he's got a lot of chips.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I've agreed with this in every single episode. I think he's an amazing player. Obviously, I think he's fun to watch, but that just seems a little reckless there. Like you can't bluff this guy either, huh? Like he just calls you down on the worst boards with a pair. With a pair. I don't know, Roddy. Yeah.
I mean, big one for Haxton though. Memes aside, Haxton is now in a very solid second place, where he's got almost 1 million chips. Well, he has more than 1 million chips over the guy that's chasing him. A couple of aces on the button, small blind and big blind. Francisco may think that it's time for him to win a pot. This would not be the pot to win. This could be bad for Judd Trump, man.
Yeah, but Judd Trump's not really he doesn't really do crazy things, so I'd be surprised if he lose more than this.
Do you think Yuri just 3-bets to 410 again, 440?
Yeah, I think so. He needs to leave the rope for Addamo to make a play like ace, queen, ace, jack or something like that.
Judd Trump does indeed not want to lose any additional chips there with his suited ace, so he lets it go. The blinds go up. Hey, if Yuri folds, which I don't think he will, but if he does fold, Addamo would have jammed and Francisco may have called.
I mean, the hand's not over. Addamo might still get involved somehow. Just 3-bet rip it. He just chips it. He's like, well, you don't want to call off. Yeah, he just rips it in. Aye. Well done.
Yuri is forced to let it go. Addamo wins another one. Back to 7.3.
Just so aggressive.
If Yuri doesn't open there, I actually do think Francisco would have called there with his queen jack suited.
Dude, he would have called so fast. You have no idea. Yeah. Those are like the new aces.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. I do the same, especially against the guy who keeps jamming into you anyway. Haxton's got jacks, and Judd Trump has a suited ace. Addamo's probably going to save Judd Trump here.
For sure. Yeah. What can I say?
I mean, you can't call here with jacks, right? That'd just be insane. So you have to
you need to 3-bet this hand. I think he's ripping in because he's aware of the ICM kind of stuff. But like normally you would 3-bet that and hope for a reshove on you. But you can see Haxton kind of got this more I don't know if conservative is the right word, but like you can see like he's trying to not bust, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Play his hands.
Which I think there is a very good argument to be made for that playstyle because, like I said before, no matter how good you are, and Haxton is incredibly good, there are now 3 players between him and $130,000, and he probably believes that he's better than all 3. So let's just not make any slip-ups and try to at least finish top 2 and then start taking care of the Michael Addamo. This is an action flop, if I've seen one. Yuri flops top pair, Addamo flops mid pair, but also has the queen high flush draw.
Yeah, you don't want to flop top pair when your opponent makes a big hand because you just lose so many chips. Obviously, he's going for the check calling style. I think that's probably the right play. The reason is you don't want to. you're less likely to commit all your chips by the river card this way when there's a guy with 1 million chips sitting there. Whereas if you bet out, the guy raises and he bets a turn, jams river, blah, etc., etc. A lot of outs still.
Yep. What does Michael Addamo do with his pair of sevens and the queen high flush draw? Goes for a slightly bigger bet, but it's not that big, so Yuri can just call again and play a river. And jack of spades would be disastrous for Yuri.
Still a bad card because it's lower than the top card.
Exactly. Not jack of spades bad, but pretty damn bad.
Yeah. Yuri is he can hero fold against Addamo, and he can hero call. So I really can't tell you what he's gonna do.
It depends on the sizing a lot. I think like if it's 400k, I think Yuri calls. If it's 600k plus, I think 600k, I think Yuri still calls. But if it's like 800 or 900, then I think Yuri might fold. Okay, I think to this Yuri will fold.
2.2.
Very quick.
Yeah. I know Addamo knows he does these bluffs and stuff like that in the spot, but like I think he should adjust it to his player type there. That
and it's not just that; it's also that Yuri is obviously looking at Francisco and Judd Trump. They have less than 1 million chips basically, so Yuri is not going to call off there with maybe top pair, but a very weak kicker. Even ace nine, I think, could have folded.
Yeah, he was just hoping his opponent had the bottom card. What, pocket eights for Chinese? Is that what you're thinking?
Sort of. I was wondering if the shorties could bellow here, but no, Francisco lets it go. I mean, I just get UK vibes when I think of Judd Trump now, because we know he plays snooker.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what would be a fun prop bet? How many soccer jerseys does Patrick Leonard own? Because I don't know if you watch his Instagram stories, but he orders like 20 jerseys throughout like the last 30 years. It's not like they're relevant. It's not like they're like from this year. Now he just orders all these old jerseys. He's like, I love this one. I love this one. It's the big man. It's the big man. I'm like, man, Patrick Leonard.
He just spews, huh? He just like loves his whatever makes his other bets more exciting. King, queen, jacks. I can see some action.
Yeah, I mean, it's 10 big blinds. I don't hate this by Francisco. Addamo will obviously call. The jacks were good enough against the 10s of Alex Ponnikov. Will they be good enough against king, queen? So far they are. They still are. Francisco needs a king or a queen on the river, or he is out, and that's not a king or a queen. So Francisco will be out in 5th place. If you guys want to see more of Francisco, he did win the road to Vegas over at GG, a $12,000 500 care package. So you might see him at the World Series of Poker in before he wins the main event. And he's like, take that, Michael Addamo. Didn't want to win the Super Millions anyway.
Yeah, no, it still played great. Like, I still love that A7 call. Like, obviously amazing hand. 10-4 offsuit, defending against the min raise of Judd Trump.
And flops bottom pair.
Flops best. This is why you don't min raise the queen jack suit against this big blind. He still defends you with this guy. What is that?
Haxton is saying it's good that it's not a bounty tournament or PKO, he said, or you would have the entire prize pool. Which is true. Addamo has literally knocked out everyone at this final table so far.
Yeah.
I love Haxton. Yeah, his bounty would have been so big. Three rolls off on the turn, which obviously means that Addamo's hand is still best. Hey, down to the final 4. 2 Roddy bets still alive.
2 Roddy bets. I mean, the important one, Isaac Haxton there. Like, I'm telling you, he's a heads-up beast. He's just trying to get there right now. He's trying to outlast everyone. But he's done a good job doing it while maintaining his stack.
You said that last time too, and then he got owned by this Hungarian dude or whoever it was. I don't know.
It was super fast too, wasn't it? Like it was like all the heads up. I'm like, it could be short, it could be long, right? And they've got like 70 big blinds, and then they're out like they dusted off with some garbage hands really early with some 3 bets. Here we go, nice play. This guy just, God, I'd be so pissed if I lost to 10-4 offsuit in this spot right now.
Who did he finish runner-up to? Isaac Haxton, Zagos, week 4. So that was Only 2 weeks ago, guys. I mean, Haxton really is being like a third place, a second place, and now once more a top 4 in 6 weeks of High Roller Super Million Season 2. It's honestly freaking good, man.
I don't think he's ever gotten a place lower than the 4th or whatever you just said just now. Yeah, he doesn't cut. He doesn't get like 9th, 8th, and 7th. He just doesn't show up then. Ace deuce. Wow, he is picking on Yuri so hard. Like he knows his game. Like he'll open because he feels he needs to, but still
Well,
just overfolds or whatever. Wow.
I'm sure Addamo is still thinking back of that heads up too, and he's like, "Man, I hate that guy."
Yeah, he remembers him, huh?
Yeah.
That's completely true.
100% that he remember. You don't forget a heads up like that. Even if you play as much as Addamo does, like there's no way you forget that.
Yeah.
Because it had such crazy hands. It had the fold with the trips, the call.
Pocket.
Pocket fours! But one of the fours got folded, damn it.
Yeah, and you know, Haxton's like, no way, I'm playing Jack 10 offsuit. I'm second place, sitting pretty. I'm not going to play this hand.
You think he just jams the fours?
I think so. Because, like, I saw it when he tanked. At first, you're like, oh, just open, right? But then when you really think about it, yeah, for sure.
Shame.
I like how, like, you're like, how can we see this?
Yuri could jam here. And if I'm Yuri, I feel like... actually, you can jam because Judd Trump is so short. It's so annoying. But you can't fold either. And if you're limp, he might jam on you.
Yeah, he's going to jam.
Limp.
I think, no, I think... Oh, does I thought he was just going to jam himself and just close his eyes because... wouldn't call.
Yeah, no. I actually think I like limping because then A, maybe you can just see a flop. And B, if he does jam, then you can always think about it. But I think this is a smart play with how short Judd Trump is.
Yeah, I think it's just... I hope that I get to see a free flop.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know Yuri's very... Like, Yuri gets pretty good scores too. And he's hanging in there, right? Like, he's kind of like playing like Haxton, similar. And like, they're just kind of chilling, trying to increase. What's up?
Is it just me or does tonight just fly by? Like, it feels like we just went live. Like, honestly, it feels like it's going so fast.
I just love every final table this guy's at, to be honest. Right? Yeah, like I'm not looking at time or nothing. It's been fun.
He just called Queen 7, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know why he does this. Like, because he can slow down sometimes. You know, like, I don't know. I feel like he calls like some spots when he's just like always dead. You know, whereas I like bluffing at least, where you can maybe get your opponent to fold. But like, Addamo. Okay, so does he make a play here? No.
Like Queen High, is it good? You're just like, no. Well, still got 9.6 million, baby. It's all good. Judd Trump, mate. What are we waiting for? He's going to be the big blind in the following hand. He is down to... What is that?
Think he raises
7?
this or what? I think he's... Yeah. I like the raise. I know it's 3 deuce offsuit, but if Haxton is kind of playing cautious against him right now, and these stack sizes, I think it is like an auto big raise there.
Queens for Yuri, and poor Judd Trump gets 10 for offsuit on his big blind, so I actually think he's going to wait again.
Yuri's like, please punish me, Addamo. I'm not folding 2 queens.
Oh, this could actually... Yeah.
You think
Addamo might just think that Judd Trump goes for it with any 2. I think Addamo will let it go this one. I think he'll let... Oh my god, he doesn't.
I don't know. You gotta let the guy get one through. You don't need to punish every single one. My god.
Yuri's gonna take a few seconds to all in. And Addamo will let it go, realizing the Yuri had a real hand. Well, any 2 will probably do for Judd Trump. But 7-3 might... Well, actually, if it gets folded to him, he gets it in great. But will it get folded to him? Because Michael Addamo is 9-5. Whoa,
No,
he folds 7-3.
I don't fault that, man. Like 5 big blinds, you're gonna get called. Brutal. Adama's like, please, Judd Trump. What do you mean I'm gonna get a walk here?
That would be sick. He will show as well, by the way. If Addamo gets a walk here, he's gonna show.
Of course, you're on point with this. Does he? Oh, he didn't show. He's pissed. Because he showed the ace-jack suited before, right?
Yeah. That one was funny, and I guess this one is not funny. Ooh, 9s and ace-jack, by the way. Yeah. Oh my god. This could be fireworks.
It should be, But man, if Judd Trump had like say 1 million, they'd just lose all the chips here.
Is there a world where Haxton just jams?
He would. I don't think he will do it though. He knows that he's just gonna call here. Play safe.
Yeah, but
He knows he
even
should
if
jam though. He can feel it. Oh, he
my
does
God.
jam.
Oh, the call! It's an all-in and a call. Ace Jack offsuit against pocket nines.
Oh
So
my
far, the
God.
nines of Addamo are good. Haxton needs an ace or a jack, and he needs an ace or a jack. That's not a heart. It's looking real bad for Isaac Haxton. That's a heart. It's
my
over.
God.
Wow, Haxton is out in 4th place. Addamo wins another monster pot.
Wow. Man, I really thought he was going to just call there. 12 million. This is looking like the same story. Yuri is going to come back and win this. I told you. I told you. Pocket fours. You get a free roll. One out, but you get a free roll. But man, Haxton out in 4th. Unexpected. He had enough. He had enough.
Yeah.
You're in shock, Roddy. You just are speechless. Your pick is out. Your big bet is out in a stunner hand.
You know what's also insane is that Addamo doesn't even consider for a split second that the nines are dominated there.
Yeah, this guy he will go. Can he finish it before the next break? This would be the fastest tournament ever.
19 minutes. I don't know.
Yeah, he could.
Might see all 5 cards with my pocket fours. For the people who don't know, Nananoka and I have a side bet on which hand makes more sets throughout the season. I pick pocket fours, he picked pocket fives. So far, I'm in the lead. 1-0, guys. Most exciting bet we've ever made. Gets the fours to fold here with 9-4. Judd Trump is so short.
Do you
all
think
in for Judd Trump? 100% all in.
Yeah.
What?
No, he folds. Wow.
He
that's
folds
a
queen
jam.
7
That's
suited with.
definitely a jam because Yuri's not playing anything. He's not going to bust.
Okay, well, ace queen against 7-8. Maybe he gets a double.
Yeah.
7-8 is not too bad. You can't fold this, man. I was about to say. Don't even think about it.
Judd Trump. How do you top 3? Oh, he hits the 8.
No ace or queen, and Judd Trump gets a double as he hits us with the running hot. And he does get the double. Actually, really annoying for Yuri. This is great for Michael Addamo in a way. I actually think he's completely okay with this.
Yeah. It's like a win-win situation, right? Like,
yeah,
there's no.
You can just all in now. Like A7, you can just all in. What is Yuri gonna do? This is actually good. In a way, I think that it's good for Michael Addamo that he lost that one.
Yeah, he's free rolling the situation, right? Like, for sure.
Check.
2 deuces.
Jack 10 all in.
Yeah, you got to. Well, I mean, what do
It's actually really annoying for. I don't think that Yuri can call because Addamo's on the big blind, and if. Yeah, now Addamo will call with his deuces.
Yeah, he's called with worse.
Jack 10. One of the 10s did get folded, but he finds another 10. Yuri disgusted. Damn it. Addamo, if you weren't such a maniac, we'd be rid of him now. Judd Trump gets another double. He's back to 12 big blinds. Now Yuri is really tilted.
Yeah, because the guy has the same stack as him.
Yeah. I mean, that's a $56,000 difference between top 3 and top 2.
I mean, obviously this can be bad in the sense that they just bleed down to like 7 big blinds apiece. It's possible.
I wonder if Addamo would. Okay, this would be too YOLO even for him. Yeah, to all in here. Yuri should just
raise.
If I'm Yuri's jam. Like at this point, you're like you can no longer just wait for Judd Trump because there's no guarantee you outlast him. So you just gotta jam the hands that you're supposed to jam. And this is one of them.
That's right.
Tonight has been fun, man. Holy hell. I need Addamo in my life every week.
I know, it's amazing.
How do we play our 10-9 of diamonds?
He's gonna limp, I think. Oh, he jams. All right. He was like, I've had enough.
Well done by Yuri. Addamo had queen 9. If he would have called, he would have been in real good shape. Queen 10 against ace deuce. All in and a call?
Snap. Like, ace deuce and they're gonna fold this? No. Gotta call here. It's a race. You got an edge of the ace deuce, but you gotta call here. The other guy, like Yuri's not. He's got 20 big blinds.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. You don't love it, but you have to call.
Mm-hmm.
Just pray that
Come
you
on.
find an ace.
Come on, snooker player. Drop the snooker stick or whatever it's called. Let's call this ace deuce. I will call this a slow roll at this point.
No, it's not a slow roll. Man, I got slow rolled. I actually had a sick hand in the Neo Beta Pros. It's not like the 105 bounty.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow,
Net
John Trump
roll.
actually folds the ace deuce offsuit. That's a long story, so I'll save it for next week. Hey, pocket
Oh,
five.
yes, yes. Come on, come on. I don't know
But
how
Addamo
you
might
guys are
just
gonna
all in though. I don't think you'll see a flop.
Oh, I'm so mad right now. I'm so mad. If he had just min raised, we would have saw flop.
Yeah, then we would have. 10-9. Jammed it before, but that was suited. Looks a lot more powerful when it's suited.
Should go for a limp. Addamo might slow down. I mean, today he literally has not slowed down. Literally. Because Adamo's game plan, I think yeah, wow. Jesus.
I still think I want to call here with 10-9 and just see if I can flop the world. But Yuri lets it go. Addamo wins another one, this time with 5 deuce offsuit.
Disgusting.
And I'm pretty sure that's illegal in some countries.
Yeah, that's just, he's going to jam this. Well, if he's jamming this, King 8 folds,
Call,
I guess.
mate. You have to call.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it's weird that he folded the last one, but he calls this one. But okay.
Yeah, but this is like 2 higher cards. I can sort of get behind it. Finds an 8, but there are 2 diamonds. Needs to avoid the diamonds. Yuri is sitting there. It's like, diamond, one time, make it blue. And it is not blue. For a second, I thought it was. I don't know why. I just saw. I saw
you
something.
saw a
Like,
little card.
Yeah. So John Trump now has more chips than Yuri. All right.
Yeah. If you think about the transaction of the last like 10, 15 minutes, Addamo, he was only down like, 700K, right? Like, it's like he chipped up a bunch of, and he's doubled up. Situations again.
Like this one by Yuri. I do think that Addamo now needs to not chill. Because
He's gonna actually push the brakes even harder, I think, right now. Because they have the same stack. But if someone gets to 35, that's when he calms down. Or 30.
So, you think he jams King 7 of diamonds?
Sometimes he does, man. Like, I don't think he should, because I think he should know Judd Trump's kind of playing snug. Wow.
Snap call with Ace King. Judd Trump gets it in real good. Can he win one more? Ace King versus King 7. Needs to avoid 7s and 6s. Needs to avoid 6s only. No 6, and Judd Trump is up to 35 big blind. Ooh, that was close. He was down to 300K a while ago. Nanonoko.
I don't know, man. I just think he should slow down. I don't know. He doesn't need to win it so fast. Now he's got to fight.
Addamo raises. Judd Trump with pocket 9s. All ins.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay, we talked about was it Lucas Greenwood? It was, right? Yeah, Lucas Greenwood for a long time, and we said that was the most magical victory. What if Judd Trump wins it today? Would that trump it all? No pun intended.
I mean, that's a pretty good one, but nah. But yeah, I mean, when Greenwood had the big blinds, it wasn't a lot of people left still, so it's it's a little different, but
Nah,
it's still...
he had 300K. It was nothing.
Yeah. Ooh.
It would be insane. If Judd Trump wins today, it'd be absolutely insane.
I mean, everyone's done insane stuff against Addamo apparently recently.
Addamo does win this one. Yuri is trying to figure out how on earth that other guy now has twice his stack. Ace Queen versus Ace 8. No, I can see it. You're worried. You're worried he's gonna jam. Okay,
yeah, for sure. There's a point when the 35 was when he's like, it's a little too much. 30 though, all those chips are in there for sure.
Addamo will probably call here. He's got a gutter ball and he's got the backdoor not flush draw.
And sometimes he got the best hand, occasionally. So yeah, I think that's for sure. Oh.
7 is no bueno. We know it's pretty much impossible now for Addamo to win this hand, but with a jack they do chop it up. Since the turn is not a spade, I wonder what John Trump does here. He goes for 3 big blinds and Addamo folds real quick. He's up to 4 million. Like I honestly think this would be the craziest victory we have seen in a year and I don't know, 6 weeks.
How do these guys just keep? I mean, look, Addamo still got the lead right now. Listen, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but now they're just picking up hands.
Yeah, we're getting ahead of ourselves, mate. He's about to jam 40 big blinds with like ace jack against ace king, and then he's no longer in the lead.
True. I mean, that's the thing. He will do that.
Yeah.
That's like that's considered cooler for him. He has outflopped his opponent.
No, but I think the mental aspect really matters too. Like, do you know how good it feels if you go from 300K to 3.8 million in like 7 minutes? Like, he feels he's invincible.
You know how bad Yuri feels now. He's like, now I've got to reshove and fight, put myself at risk.
Yeah. And they're obviously playing ridiculously quick, so the hands will go up again real soon. A weaker version of the Ben CB powerhouse here. And Addamo decides that it's worthy of an open. Yuri cannot do anything.
It's funny because, go ahead.
If Judd Trump gets up to 5 million, I really think that he's winning. Even if he has less chips, he's already winning that.
You just, I know what you're forcing. You're just forcing Addamo just getting a spot where he thinks it's too good and he just punts it off with like a marginal-ish hand, right? Like, he's like pocket sevens, reshoves 40 big blinds into like aces. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, he will do that. Addamo needs a cooler one of these guys soon because like otherwise he's gonna just give away a lot of chips. All right, so Jack 8 suited. Check the flop because he's like, this guy check raises too much.
Yeah.
It's almost like people change their game plans when they're up against him, huh?
It is. Okay. Whew. I was about to say, like, it felt so much better for Judd Trump, but I was like, he's actually still behind on the turn, and there are a lot of river cards to which he just loses to. The deuce of spades is not one of them, though. Wonder what he bets here, if he bets big or small, probably.
Probably small.
Probably 300K. I think 300K. Oh, 186.
It's a good bet size. I think if he thought Addamo had a 5 or 6, he'd actually he'd bet himself for value. So he was just like, I'm going to do something with a small bet.
Yuri knows that it's time for him to raise it up when he gets an ace. He's down to 15 bigs. Does win this one. Lines go up again, though. 120K at this point. Perfect hand for Addamo to win the first round of the blinds going up.
I mean, I love that last blind level. It was good, the 100K one. Now it's a tricky one.
You can just still pretend it's 100K, but then just reduce a couple big blinds.
I just see one guy have a lot of chips, but it's getting lower and lower as time goes on.
He's definitely going to defend 7-6. We know that. Flops an open ender.
I was going to say flop it, but I'm like, is that considered flop it? I mean, flop enough.
Flop enough to continue. King Jack still good. Addamo could bet here. 300K.
He might go big. But yeah, 300 minimum.
Doesn't have too much time bank left.
Yeah, he uses a lot of time because he's always involved in every single hand. And wow, 900,000 chips.
Mm-hmm. And he obviously does take the same amount of time for his nutted hands as he takes for his crazy bluffs as well. Like, I've noticed that when he has it, he does. It's not like he snaps it immediately. So, pretty sick one there. Wins a decent size pot, makes it 420 here with 6-4 offsuit. Judd Trump has a suited queen.
Yeah, I think he's got to let this go.
Just because Yuri is so short.
I mean, yeah. Normally you would be playing that hand, but it's just it's a different game.
You know who I want to see a little more of? I want to see more of Ottomar Latva, our champ.
He's already won one of the. He's already won one. What do you want to see him again already?
Yeah, I want to see him again. I don't say I want to see him win again, but I do want to see him again.
I want to see Nicholas Estet, to be honest. Just want to see him get top 2 again. I can't believe he got like second place every single time. Then he just started shipping everything.
Judd Trump, let's go of the 7-6 of diamonds.
Respect.
300. Man, Yuri is real short now. 10 big blinds. Addamo knows it, and this is why he wants to put on some extra pressure. He's been doing real well, to be honest, over the last few minutes, because Addamo just went up from like 8.8 million to 10 million again. And this could actually be an all-in for Yuri. 10 big blinds, Jack 10.
Yeah, but you're thinking like, how does he have? How does he hasn't got any coolers? Like, why does he have 10 million all of a sudden? Just because he wins so many blinds and antes.
Yuri decides to just call. Does not flop a whole lot.
Is Jack 10 going to continue? You can see he wants to. No stack though.
I think once you see this flop, like if that queen was a 9, I'd be like, you know what, mate, close your eyes and just rip it in. But since it's a queen, I think you just want to let it go. Makes the call. Ooh.
Well, he could steal it, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's true.
But I've seen Addamo call people of ace high though, so like, who knows?
I mean, this is such a crucial pot for Yuri. Oh,
Bad.
well, that's a card that he's gonna lose it all to.
Yeah, I mean, at least
there's no way Addamo's folding ace check. Like, yeah,
no, he's never folding. I'm just wondering, does Yuri sometimes bet and he 300 block bet and call? He must think that Jack 10 is good here, though, right? Because Addamo didn't bet the turn with the stack size. He's losing chips. I can tell you that. Just how much? If he bets himself, he probably loses less.
I think he's outmade. I think Addamo just puts them all in.
Yeah. Hope he gets called by like a king 5 or something. Just something random. King deuce, ace deuce. Rips it in. Correctly jams. Second pair. Snap called and out.
There's nothing you can do there. If you call on that flop, then if you do find your jack on the river, you're obviously not going to let it go. That means Michael Addamo gets his revenge on Yuri, and we are heads up between the man who's won it 3 times in season 1 and the man who won our anniversary edition. No matter what happens, Nanonoko, I think it's safe to say that tonight, High Roller Super Millions history will be made. Either Michael Addamo becomes the first player to win it in season 1 and season 2, or Judd Trump pulls off one of the most ridiculous comebacks we have seen in over a year.
That's right. And things change. When your head's up, you only got one opponent to beat. You don't got to outladder anyone. So Judd Trump's playstyle probably will change drastically.
Yeah, of course. Like, there's no more pay jumps. You're not just going to fold, let him walk over you. And Judd Trump is good, man. Let's not forget that performance he had. 10 high is good here, by the way. No, it's not. Sorry. Michael Addamo has a 3. Sorry, I'm blind.
But yeah, Judd Trump, he's really solid. Like, he's kind of like Haxton, right? Like, he just, during the final table, he's not crazy. Chooses his spots, gets away with it sometimes, but doesn't do anything crazy, and he always gets the top finish.
Min raises the queens here. We know that Addamo is aggressive in heads up. And this is a garbage. And what? How do you find the case queen there? That's insane.
Yeah. Wow. Addamo's thinking, how can I get all the chips in? Oh, he saved. Wow. Yeah. I don't blame him for checking those 2 queens, because obviously he flopped everything. But it's a disaster.
A 1 big blind bet would have been nice, though. Just to open the door for Addamo. Because Addamo doesn't really fall to 1 big blind bets anyway.
Right, and maybe get check raised by something random too. Does make a call here. Judd Trump. Probably going to go big.
Yeah.
I think he's going to want to try to get called by like an ace. You know, Addamo calls a lot. So he's going to go for like 1 million, I think. Or like 800 plus.
I'm with you. I actually do think that like just the 1 big blind bet, because it's heads up anyway. Like, it's not like, oh, he bets 1 big blind, he's really strong, you know?
Ooh, he actually went small. Perfect sizing actually against the queen, though.
Yep. And then was like, whoa, glad that ace rolled off. Otherwise, this could have been a whole lot worse.
Nah, I hear you. But I think obviously they played a couple hours of final table so far already. They're just thinking, how can we trap this guy throughout the whole final table? So in your mind, when you get the heads up, you're thinking the same thing too. Like, how do I trap this guy? Queen 8 going for it. Nice. It's a different man.
I said if he gets up to 5 million, I think he's winning it, Nano.
It's close. We're going to make our second break, though, it seems.
Yeah. This happens in a minute. Oh, I'm excited. Really excited to see how this heads up turns out. Obviously, when it's a Michael Addamo heads up, it could very well be that we take 5 minutes to recover ourselves, and then when we come back, it's over in one hand.
Well, when Yuri won it against Addamo, it looked like it was going to end like an hour and a half, the tournament,
Yeah.
but it ended up being quite long because they played an epic long heads-up match.
Trump has a gut shot and a pair of fours. I think he may even consider raising here, right?
Won't raise, I don't think. Call.
Well, he'll never fold.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, not
That's
folding
actually
turn,
like-
but river cards is where things get a little fun. I think there's
That's
another
actually a
bet
really
coming.
good card for Judd Trump, right? Because now Addamo will definitely continue betting, but Judd Trump has the same draw as Addamo has, and he also has a pair to go with it.
Yeah, I feel like multiple bets are going in whether Addamo hits it or does not hit it. That's the thing.
Wow.
Overbet's going to get
What?
wow fold. I don't know about that. We're heads up.
How do you fold there? I mean, sure, I know it's okay. Well, that's a very big bet, of course. But you have a pair, you have an open ender against Michael Addamo. It's a double flushy board. I don't know what to make of that, Nanonoko. I'll give you 4 minutes and 40 seconds to think about it. Obviously, if you guys enjoy the show, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't done that yet. We don't just have the High Roller Super Millions on this channel. There's plenty of other really cool poker shows and coverage of other final tables. We hope you guys are enjoying yourselves as much as we are, and we'll see you in 4 minutes.
What do you say? Let's run it back this year. The $1,500 millionaire maker, the $5 million guaranteed prize pool. And we're guaranteeing what up top?
Well, let me check my. $1 million, Jeff. It's the Millie Maker. $1 million.
It is the millionaire maker. Day one's in the lobby right now. Day two on August 8th.
Hello, everybody. Daniel Negreanu here with some good news from the GGPoker Network. We've been preparing a promotion for the new year called GG Care. As any poker player might know, sometimes you find yourself in what we'd call unfortunate situations, some ugly bad beats, right? Well, that's where GG Care comes in. GG Care will take care of you with huge prize pools available every day. Let's see how you can get your GG Care benefits. Aces versus kings. Yep, all in before the flop. I mean, nobody's going to fold that, right? That's just a setup. It's a cooler. I can't imagine being, at the final table of the World Series of Poker heads up and this happening to me. It's just brutal. Bad beats should never be a thing, but they are. Thanks, GG. I flopped the top set. Very nice. Some fucking idiot chases a runner straight to suck out on me. Unbelievable. But in my darkest moment, GG Care was there. Thanks, GG. Flop the second nut set, the middle set on the flop. It's an impossible cooler. How can you be beat there? The guy has top set. Nobody's folding that. Sometimes it just feels unfair. Thanks, GG. As you can see, in the most unfortunate of situations, GG Care will appear for you. Are you curious how to get these benefits? Don't worry, you don't even have to lift a finger. First, simply enjoy the game as usual. Whenever something unfortunate happens, GG Care will be there. Secondly, when confronted with such circumstances, GG Care automatically will register you into a flip-out tournament with a huge prize. Just check the pop-up window. Thirdly, take a rest, have yourself a nap, get yourself a good night's sleep, clear your mind of all the bad beats, and when you wake up, the daily GG Care prizes will be waiting for you. That's all there is to GG Care. Pretty simple, isn't it? Just play the game as normal and GG Care will take care of you. And the prize money will only grow more and more in the future, so keep your eyes posted and good luck, everybody. I hope you don't have too many bad beats, but if you do, GG Care will be there. Thanks, GG.
Elke was waiting to come back to the final table.
Fedor holds things. Oh my God.
Michael Addamo is the best.
Welcome back, everyone, to the third hour of our High Roller Super Millions Week 6, Season 2. We are watching the heads up between Judd Trump and Michael Addamo. Could be long, could be short. It's probably going to be short, knowing Michael Addamo, win or lose. It's going to be short.
Yeah, I feel that too. But, they got some big blinds to play with. I just thought about was, remember when Haxton said, talk about the PKO tournament, you don't know the bounties. Do you think he regrets saying that because he took his scalp right away after that?
Not just his, he also took Yuri's, right?
So did he literally bust everyone?
Yeah, I think he did.
No way. Okay, how did he bust Ponikovs? Jacks versus tens?
Yes.
Gravy boat? I forget gravy boat.
Ace King or Kings versus Ace King.
All right. Bert Stevens, blind on blind battle.
Queen Jack versus King Queen.
Oh, you remember it. Auntie Ninja?
That's a good one, but he did.
I think maybe she busted someone else.
No.
No? Also, you might be right.
Wait.
He got Francisco? He got Francisco, right? Did he get Francisco?
Yeah. Because that's when that's what triggered the comment of.
We know he got hacked.
Auntie Ninja, I'm not 100% sure of, but I think it was another monster. Yeah, so Francisco for sure. That was nines against. No, that was actually that was. Sorry, nines against Ace Jack was obviously Isaac Haxton.
The new poker shares bet should be how many people does he knock out by the end of the final table? Right, like that's the real bet.
I can look it up real quick. What happened before?
I mean, I don't really need to know that bad, Roddy. But if you're dying to know,
I mean, it's not that hard. I'm pretty sure that he busted Auntie Ninja. I just forgot how. You just talk. Oh no! Auntie Ninja busted Ace King against Jacks of Yuri. So Yuri busted Auntie Ninja. Yeah.
So only Auntie Ninja got away from Addamo. All right, so she's trying to get some action, but just checks it. So it seems like Judd Trump, he might be thinking, I gotta trap this guy at some point to his final table. If Addamo can maybe adjust a little bit and try to show down some hands a little more, Judd Trump might miss out on some potential value bets. Might be something to think. I mean, I know Addamo's not thinking about that, but it's something he probably should have think about.
Yeah, and Yuri was Jack 10 against Ace Jack, obviously. So
let's see.
Everyone besides Auntie Ninja. Yuri got one bounty.
Bounty in his prize? Nothing. No bounty. Just pay jumps. Which is still good. Wow, this guy's just running clean, huh? 10 and 5. Hitting it. Wow, see, that's what I said. He's trying to trap Addamo, and I'm thinking he might miss out on some value in some spots because of that. So I want to see Addamo try to show down some more hands because of that fact.
Addamo looks at 7-4 and he's like, should I raise or call? I'll call. We'll let this one go though. Judd Trump a little sad about that one after flopping top pair. I don't hate that he tried. That's another big one. 3-bet it up. Make it 800K, 900K.
He's probably gonna make $1 million, I'm guessing. I don't know, something like that. I can't even count these stack sizes. That's why I can't really tell you exactly what's going. 140K is just should be eliminated. It's not a thing.
Addamo with A7, kind of the hand of the night.
Yeah, it's funny. A7 offsuit's the new solver special.
He does make it 9-10, and he's going to take it down. Judd Trump has still not broken that magical 5 million chip barrier. Ace 3 against King 3.
Does he want to try to trap his opponent here? Oh, wow. But no pieces for his opponent there.
Yeah. An ace of hearts or an ace of clubs on the turn would be disastrous. But we won't even get there. That's a little tilting for Addamo. Love the... Ooh.
Yeah.
Fireworks here, maybe. Ace Queen, King Jack.
I think so. I think he's going to 3-bet. I thought he would because I know he's got that blood in him. With I gotta just trying to go for it, but even here, there's some action happening. Obviously, Jack is killer. Jack is all the chips, but he might check raise a king jack. One of the strongest hands you can have that's not 2-pair plus. I think ace queen's still supposed to call here. I know you would wish there was 1 diamond out there somewhere, but you might have the best hand. You got to draw to the nuts. You got, I think this has to be a call against this opponent type. I just don't see any other option.
I don't think he's thinking of folding.
No,
so he makes the call. Deuce of clubs is a really ugly turn card for Judd Trump. Going to be harder and harder for him. Has 1.8 million chips in the middle. Chips that he desperately needs. And they seem almost impossible to win now. He's got 5 cards to win it.
Not bad. Decent pot. That's a swing. That's a maybe shift in momentum pot, right? Like,
like you thought a comeback was happening. It ain't happening.
I mean, it's not just that bad. It's just like they gotta fight a little bit.
Like if you lose that and there is like more chips coming in and Judd Trump has 6 million after that hand, well, then it's a real momentum changer. As Addamo picks up 10s here.
Gonna go for a small re-raise. Yeah, I like this. Some guys just jam, but definitely you want to get action. You know, and heads up, you can't miss too many opportunities, right? Like, it can be make or break your tournament. We've seen that over and over again in our heads up matches.
Judd Trump has less than 20 big blinds now. That's a bit problematic. Does find a pair of 9s here, and it's less problematic.
Yeah, it's gonna lose. 10, 8's gonna bet. Oh, I just cannot fold this queen 9 no matter what happens.
No.
Can run out like Jack, King, still calling down, you know what I mean? Here's a bet. King is one of them. I'm still calling this turn bet though. 100%.
It's a scary card. Just check. That's good. Should give Judd Trump the feeling that his 9 is good here.
Yeah. I don't mind to check because sometimes this opponent has a king. Makes a lot of sense.
But we can't fold to any bet now.
No, most definitely not.
Even if it's scary and unpleasant. Like, you don't like to see this, but I do think you have to call. It's just like,
It's just because of how crazy Addamo plays. Normally, like, this would be a fold, but you know. Oh my, Judd Trump! There's no pay jumps. Come on, Addamo. I feel like Addamo's actually been really honed into all his opponents today. Actually, like if you think about it, he's just made play after play, playing the mathematics of them folding, basically, not the cards, obviously. Wow.
Bottom pair versus mid pair. Maybe Judd Trump can finally win that pot that he's been looking for. Don't think he's going to get a whole lot here, though. No, I'm with you. Obviously, Addamo has made a couple of great plays today. There was that one play where he checked the 8 on the turn, and then he actually got Haxton to pay off 300k on the river with ace high. Like, that was a sick one. There was something else with deuces, which I remember he did very well.
I know you're thinking like, man, I've got $33 on Judd Trump. He is not fighting right now. I need him to fight for me to have a chance to win that final table bet or another runner-up bet. Value. I like this value bet though.
Yeah. We know that Addamo does not like folding, but on the other hand, Judd Trump has been so tight that you may consider folding third pair here or fourth pair.
Man. Yeah, no, he really should fold this, but man, he just likes to make sure. Okay, he finally folded. It took 2 hours. We got him to fold a pair.
It's probably because he had no kicker. If he had a kicker, he'd call.
You know, like sometimes I'm thinking in Addamo, the way he thinks about hands, right? He's like thinking about all these spots, right? And the other guy, he's not thinking the same thing at all. He's like call or fold. You know, it's very simple. The other guy. That was just crazy. Here's a little bet here of Jack 9's limp pot. He is opening up the limp pot game, which I do like with the stack def. Turns to 9.
That hand before the break was so wild, by the way, where he just folded immediately when he had a pair of 4s in the open ender. That was actually a pretty big one too.
Could be the game changer, honestly. You know, like it happens all the time in our heads up where people just shouldn't do that. All right, so
Trump has the nut low.
Yeah,
He decides to bet because he's got the nut low.
I like the bet sizing though. Like high card won't call you anyways.
Then I was thinking about raising. Probably will raise.
Yeah, he's thinking about raising against a 7, right? Wow, that's sick. Second pair raise, and I like it though. Makes a lot of sense against the bet size he's up against. He wouldn't do this against a smaller bet sizing.
Yeah, Trump still has the nut low. Decides to let it go.
Yeah, it seems he needs to fight back. I don't know, just somehow.
Yeah, he needs to not be afraid of the bigger pots. It almost feels like he's afraid of the bigger pots, but
He needs to play like how he played the anniversary edition, was a bigger prize pool, right? He made some epic plays in that one, I remember. Today, he's just, what? Locked up top 2, though. I mean, I'll give him that.
yeah. He's got king high here on a very random board.
Maybe he's just wondering, is there like another consolation prize jump or something? I don't know. Is that a thing?
No. Joe Trump is really good.
Yeah,
Sure.
no, he's solid for sure. He's like one of the really
All in
solid
and a
players
call?
out there.
This
Yeah.
could be min raise,
And a-
all in call, limp.
Trap. He's trapped in.
What?
What? Well, it would have been over.
Yeah.
But somehow Judd Trump snap checked the ace-8 suited. I don't know, man. Weird.
That is weird. And Addamo is gonna bet and will win another big blind. Joe Trump still just has ace high. Can only win with one of the last 3 aces on the river. We know that the Addamo is never ever folding this hand.
You give him another 100 big blinds, still never ever folding.
Now Joe Trump can let it go. He's gonna think like, man, could have played my ace-8 of diamonds a little different there, couldn't I? Yes, you could have, mate.
Well, to be fair, he somehow extended his life because obviously he would have busted this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll give him that.
Unless he just rabbit hunted now and there was an ace of spades on the river. But it's looking
I don't
real
see it
bad.
happening, Roddy.
Yeah,
I really
looking-
don't.
It's looking real bad for our man Judd Trump. It's looking real good for all the people who put some money on Michael Addamo. There was an insane amount of money bet on him, as you guys can see on the Nananoko's webcam. $24,000 in total. It's a good day for everyone who likes to do the final table betting. It's a bad day for poker shares because I do actually believe they lose some money there with that result.
Bad day for Roddy. Just reminding.
Every day is a bad day for Roddy, mate. Don't you worry about that. Yeah, Trump does win one, but he wins the tiniest of tiny pots. This could be an all-in and a call. It should be an all-in and a call. Ace queen, you can raise. 5s can jam, and we're off to the horses. There we go. Off to the races. Ace queen versus 5s. Don't know why I said horses. And the 5s hold. Ooh, that's so bad.
I don't think
That's
so.
so
Not on
bad.
that. Yeah, no way.
A queen to chop it, or it's all over. And Michael Addamo, will
Not
be
straight.
the first player to win a High Roller Super Millions in Season 1 and Season 2. And he's also the only 4-time champion of the High Roller Super Millions. We had to wait a long time to say that, Nano, because he won the first 3 in the first 11 weeks of Season 1. And in Season 2, he finally gets the job done, gets another W under his belt. And he played awesome.
He delivered, right? Like, because every time Michael Addam's at the final table, he just makes it crazy. He played phenomenal. Is phenomenal the right word? Like, because everyone just played so tight against him. The only guy who actually resisted him was Francisco. Yeah, and Gravy Boat too. I would say, but Gravy Boat, he didn't get a chance to battle him more. But even Isaac Haxton, man, like he folded that King 10 against Addamo. on a king 7, like just seemed criminal fold. But because, see, the thing is, Addamo knows what everyone else is thinking. He knows he's getting away with such ridiculous hands, but he knows they're trying to get pay jumps. And when he sees a guy with a stack that doesn't want to lose to another stack, he puts the pressure on him, and it works every single time today, right? Besides against Francis, he tried to do it to Francisco, it didn't work, but everyone else. Judd Trump, like, and he tried to get that top 2. He did it. Yuri tried to get the top 2, actually got top 3, but I didn't really see him play many hands either. It was just an Addamo show. Brilliant. I loved it.
He knocked out 7 out of the 8 players. If it was a bounty tournament, he would have had an absolute monstrous bounty. Addamo clearly deserved it. Did run hot a little bit in the first hour because he actually started losing some chips, and then he just got these setups that were all in his favor, right? Kings against Ace King, Jacks against 10, and there was another big one which went his way where he had Jacks again, I believe. And at that point, I feel like he never looked back. At one point, lost a couple chips. Then he won that monster pot against Isaac Haxton with the 9s against Ace Jack. I also love how I feel like a lot of people would be a bit intimidated because what Haxton did there looks really strong with the other 2 guys being shorter than Haxton. But it felt like it's not a worry in the world that he was dominated there by 10s or Jacks or Kings or Queens. Like, nope, going for it. Won that big flip. And I do feel that Judd Trump had a couple of opportunities to make this a really competitive heads-up match. Like, I think the 6-4 hand, that really is a missed opportunity. He folded so quick as well. It's like, we've got a pair, we've got an open-ender. It felt crazy to fold so quick. And when he had the queens, that was a hand where maybe he could have won a lot of chips. Obviously, the ace on the turn didn't help and stuff, and there was 1 or 2 more where just, he let go. I think with the 9 or something, he let go rather easily, where he also had the best hand and Addamo was just bluffing. Michael Addamo just got the best of him in the heads up. There is no other way to put it.
Yeah, no, he got the best of everyone. But yeah, I do agree that Judd Trump let a few things get away. But no, it's amazing. First 4-time winner.
Yeah.
They won 3 times in season 1 in the first 10 episodes, right? It's season 2. We've only had 6 episodes and he's won 1. Like, it's sick. Like, he always gets a top score. He plays, you think, like, he plays so crazy, these guys would adapt at some point. Man, I think today they did adapt, but like in a cautious way. They adjusted too much for him. They let him get away with too much. It's very rare, especially in 10K tournaments. You know, everyone's a sick player where someone dictates what happens throughout the final table. And this actually did seem like a spot where you guys play for second and maybe you'll win occasionally in heads up, but like, they just gave it to him really today.
I mean, we know that Michael Addamo is a force to be reckoned with, but when he also is on the right side of multiple setups in a row with the Jack stands, Kings against Ace King, I mean, King Queen against Queen Jack, suited, both of them, small blind, big blind. At that point, it feels like it's written in the stars that he is indeed going to run away with it. The odds for Michael Addamo to win tonight were real low, probably the lowest we have ever seen, like 2.5. But it turned out it was indeed still the easy money to be made. Sometimes, no, you just got to be satisfied with the little wins instead of always chasing the big one, I guess.
Yeah, and well, I get some more points in our little side bet. Yes, I did pick the chip leader. Yes, he did win again. But I've got a little bit of points there. Roddy, 0 points again. And you missed out on your final table bet again. Another second place runner-up. Roddy, I'm sorry for needling you, but it's just over and over.
I know it's over and over, but the good news is that they will keep playing the weekly 10K on the Sunday night, and we'll keep commentating the final tables on the Tuesday. One more time, obviously, there are still flights happening for the Millionaire Maker that's taking place this weekend. So if you haven't built a stack yet, or if you haven't made it to the main event, make sure to do your best. And other than that, crazy amount of tournaments currently running over at GGPoker, WSOP related. And of course, the road to Vegas, you can qualify for a World Series of main event ticket. They'll pay your entry. They'll give you $2,500 to travel as well for as little as $8, I believe, because there's $8 satellites running into the $8 satellite, and where you can then win a seat. So make sure to check that out. There's a dedicated tab on the GG client. It's called Road to Vegas. And that's going to do it for us, unless you have anything else you want to share with the world, Nanonoko.
No, it was a great performance. I would love to see Addamo again, and I think you agree too.
How many bullets next week for Michael Addamo?
you'll fire unlimited. I'll tell you that. I don't know, but just get me there with at least 5 big blinds in. We're good.
All right, that's gonna do it for us. Make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel of GG if you haven't done that yet, and we'll see you again next week, same time, same place. See you then.
Elkie was waiting to come back to the final table.
Radar hold stings. Oh my God.
Michael Addamo is the best.